This kid is the strongest person in the entire universe at just 7 years old. And I'm not even kidding, but obviously all that glitters is not gold back on Earth. He was just an ugly nerd who dreamed of being one of those secret superheroes who helps people from the shadows. Until the day came when our very own Truckin arrived in person to collect our half-baked hero. No one escapes Truckin. As a reward for being the only person on the planet with a pure soul, a goddess appeared before him. Now, he could be reincarnated as anyone he wanted. He could be a hero, the Demon King, or even a dragon. His eyes sparkled with joy. But the idiot loser got tongue-tied the moment he had to speak. He wanted to be that super powerful guy who appears out of nowhere and operates behind the scenes. The side character hero who makes princesses blush and get wet from so many tears of joy. You were thinking something dirty, weren't you? After thinking it over for a moment, the goddess told him he would be the strongest being in the entire universe, stronger than the hero and even that legendary dragon from the fairy tales. And since he wanted secrecy, his heart would explode if anyone ever found out about his powers. The loser, who had been radiating happiness just a second ago, immediately realized there had been a misunderstanding, but the goddess didn't even give him time to talk back. 2 years have passed since he arrived in this world. The little boy, now 9 years old, was surrounded by giant beasts without even realizing it. However, he didn't care since he's the strongest one here. Seconds later, every single monster was knocked out. The boy hadn't broken a single drop of sweat. He just stood there, calm as ever, with his hands in his pockets. He spots another beast nearby. The creature freaks out and bolts. Urianen watches. Relieved, his heart didn't explode when the beast noticed his power. In a flash, he's next to the creature, takes it down, and bam, it's over. The beast drops and he cheers, finally done. He checks out the field. No more people or beasts. Mission complete. Urianen heads back to the village. Gazing at the sky later, in a sunny village, a girl's voice calls his name. A redhead, cleaning up, asks where he's been. He calls her Ella, saying he had a stomachache. Ella's worried, says he should have told her, knowing he's weak and shouldn't wander alone. She also warns about wolf beasts around, so he needs to be careful. Urianen, feeling down, apologizes. 2 more kids join, saying they haven't seen any wolf beasts lately. They're stoked, saying it was hard to farm with those monsters, probably thanks to the priest's prayers. One kid hopes they never see those beasts again soon. A buff dude with brown hair grabs Urianen by the hair, calling him a brat. He tosses him against the wall, saying he shouldn't walk alone, and asks if he gets it. Ella rushes to Urianen, worried. The guy says he took him in 'cause he's young, but he's short, weak, and useless. Ella keeps asking if he's okay. Urianen groans, faking pain, keeping up the act. He apologizes to the guy who looks after them, thinking his mission to hide his powers is a win. The guy orders the kids to sweep and they all agree, dashing off. The directors all, "Yo, everyone got the song down? If not, you're wolf chow." Outside, near the square, kids are sweeping the street, singing about being happy. Even though they're orphans forced to sing, they try to keep a straight face, saying they're being cared for and happy. Urianen and Ella jump in, thanking the villagers for sharing food with the kids. Some villagers gather round, loving the kids' song, like it's the latest TikTok trend. People say the kids are doing it out of kindness, super impressed, calling the director a legend. A villager promises to hook the orphans up with chicken, and the kids are glowing while munching on a feast. The director's living it up with chicken and meat, chugging beer. The kids, though, only get boiled potatoes, and Urianen's not having it. He asks why they're stuck with potatoes and eating on the floor while the director's having a party. A little girl asks Ella why, even with chicken, they only get potatoes. A boy next to her's like, "Shush and eat. It's better than starving on the streets." The little girl gets bummed, and Urianen, all fired up, curses the director. Teeth clenched, Ella grabs everyone's attention and whips out boiled eggs. A special treat for dinner. The orphans are shook, drooling, not used to something so tasty. Ella Saul, "Got these eggs from the lady who gave chicken. Let's eat before the director spots us." Everyone's hyped, cheering Ella, and an orphan's like, "I want to eat now." Urianen's thinking he hasn't had eggs in forever, drooling, and Ella calls his name. She offers her egg to Urianen, saying he can have it if he wants, but he hesitates. Ella insists he's too skinny, and the director might kick him out if he loses more weight. Urianen's like, "Nah, I'm good, you eat your egg." Ella gets annoyed, trying to make Urianen eat, saying he'll get kicked out if he doesn't. but he resists. Ella's stomach growls and she gets all embarrassed. Urianen laughs. Go ahead, eat. Smiling, he looks at Ella, remembering when he first got here. A memory pops up. Urianen in the village, being called a rat and getting roughed up. A man tells him to scram from the shop cause he's scaring customers, and Urianen's left on the ground. The man threatens to finish him if he shows up again, and Urianen thinks being an orphan is the worst. No protection, dangers everywhere, and people are fake and mean. He thinks he chose this, but it's tough going solo until a random girl shows up. She says he must be an orphan. Crouches, introduces herself and offers a potato, asking him to come with her. Ella explains the director's not great, but hell have shelter and food there. Urianen's skeptical, and the girl's stomach growls with hunger. Hand in hand, near the orphanage, the girl asks the director to take Urianen in, promising hell work hard. Back to now, Urianen looks at Ella with shining eyes. Admiring her kindness, he takes the egg from her hand and makes her eat, saying they'll go to magic school together. Urianen explains the school takes anyone, and heard they feast on awesome food there. Hearing this, the other two orphans get pumped, saying they want to go too. Ella, like a big sis, hugs the three kids and says they'll all go to magic school together. She mentions they'll enjoy big meals and study instead of working hard. Finally, she wraps it up, saying they'll beat this together and head to magic school as a fam. After a bit, the director calls the kids, saying he's got good news, and they all gather round. The man announces Ella's getting adopted today and asks everyone to cheer for her. Urianen's stunned. The girl starts crying, saying sorry for not being able to stay and take care of everyone. The two boys, not Urianen, tell her not to talk like that. They're happy for her. But the director keeps going, saying he's got more news and calls Urianen with a creepy look. He says Urianen's been picked as a sacrifice for the wolf god and congratulates him. Ella hears this and freaks out, saying that's not what was promised. She was supposed to take care of Urianen if she agreed to be adopted. The man, with a scary look, asks Urianen why there haven't been wolf beasts lately. Our hero says he knows, but the director cuts him off, saying he's wrong. They feed the wolf god regularly. With a devilish grin, he reveals the beast prefers the taste of kids. The director's all, Urianen's too weak and tiny to be a great worker. Instead, he's like, his sacrifice will save the village, and tells the kids to give him props. Urianen's thinking, is this why the director keeps the orphanage? She gets super desperate, begging to swap places with Urianen, pleading for his life. A punch is coming her way, but the dude hesitates, saying he can't damage his goods. Still, he orders her to zip it, making her super nervous. Threateningly, he warns if she speaks up again, Urianen and the others will be wolf chow too. Finally, the director orders all the kids, except Urianen, to start sweeping pronto. Elsewhere, Urianen's rocking a flower crown, wondering what to do next. Bored, he's like, should I take down the wolf god and go on a secret quest? Someone calls his name, and when he looks, Urianen's jaw drops. By the door, Ella's there with a fresh haircut walking over. Concerned, Urianen's all, what's up with you and your hair? Ella laughs, asking what he thinks, and says she cut it to match him. She says there's no time to chat and tells him to swap clothes with her ASAP. While taking off her coat, she says it's girl's clothing, but it'll fit him since he's slim. Urianen's startled, asking why this is happening and why she's doing this now. Smiling, Ella looks at Urianen, and firmly says she'll be the wolf god's sacrifice. Hearing this, Urianen's shocked, asking if she knows what being a sacrifice means. With a sad smile, Ella says she knows because her little brother was one. Our protagonist is stunned, and Ella says when she first saw him, she thought her brother was back. The resemblance was uncanny, and because of that, she felt the need to protect him. The boy hesitates, shocked by the info, only saying the young girl's name. Ella holds back tears, not wanting to see her brother's life taken again, and asks the boy to flee fast. Urianen finally opens up, suggesting they run away together. She shouldn't sacrifice herself. Sadly, Ella says the adults are faster and would catch them. With her head down, she mentions an idea. When the director sees her haircut, he'll definitely flip. Ella reminds Urianen that the director never stops abusing the kids, and if he escapes now, at least he'd leave the village. The young girl approaches the boy, removes the flower crown from his head, and asks Urianen to live for both of them. Ella also mentions the family that would adopt her wasn't great, and she'd rather save him than live there. Irritated, Urianin thinks these words shouldn't come from a 10-year-old. He's got mad power but can't do anything suddenly. The director shows up with a knife and Ella gets distressed. The man calls the girl and asks about her hair. Gripping the knife tight, scared, Ella tries to explain, while Urianin eyes the weapon, wondering why. Something happens and Urianin gets anxious. The man asks the girl what she did to herself. In despair, Urianin calls Ella, and power starts forming in his hand, but something happens, and his heart races. A sharp pain hits him. Realizing, he feels his heart ache and denies what's happening. Hating himself, he remembers when Perseus said if discovered, his heart would explode. Urianin sees Ella being choked by the director. She spits blood and groans in pain. The sick man sees the flower crown on her head and says he gets it. She wanted to be sacrificed like her brother. Ella struggles, crying in pain. The lunatic director laughs, saying he has something interesting to share. He reveals he's the wolf god and that he killed her brother. Without remorse, he says he tossed the brother's flesh to the wolves and sold the organ. Smiling, he says the kid was finally worth something. Dead, an honor for a useless orphan. Still holding Ella, he adds, the brother was a good boy till the end. Happy to sacrifice himself. The director finishes laughing, but realizes Ella's not moving. He questions if she's dead. He looks at Urianin, desperate, watching the scene coldly. The man says her sister's dead. He tells Urianin not to worry, as he'll soon join her. Urianin remembers the happy times with Ella, an awesome sister, and feels crushed. Desolate, he feels empty and asks the director what he's waiting for. The man, confused, didn't see this coming from the boy and asks what he said. All right, buckle up, 'cause we're diving back into the epic moment when Persia handed over some serious power to Urianin. She's all, why you want to be all secretive with your powers, dude? She's thinking warrior or demon king vibes are more his style, wondering if he's just trying to keep it on the down low. Our heroes like, nah, warriors and demon kings should use their powers for humans or demons, you know? Persia just gives him the silent treatment, staring him down. Fast forward to now, Urianin's all about saving his peeps, and in a flash he takes out the director like, whoa. With his epic strength, the church's roof goes kaboom and the sky's like, hello. The director's lifeless body lets Ella go and she's falling, but Urianin's got those hero reflexes and catches her feeling all the feels. He's like, dang, I was too slow, and says sorry to his sis. But wait, Ella's making noises. She's alive. Plot twist, he grins and uses his magic to heal her up like instantly. Green sparkles do their thing, and Ella's all good again. Urianin's like, thanks big guy upstairs for not letting me mess this up. With the sun shining down on the now roofless church, he's ready to embrace his destiny. He shuts his eyes. No regrets, but nothing happens. He's all confused. Checks out the director's body, and figures that's why he's still kicking. Turns out, if someone dies without unlocking their powers, Urianin's heart stays intact. He's grateful to the goddess for giving him a new shot at life and saving Ella and his sibs from the psycho director. Fast forward 4 years. Urianin's squaring off with a demon beast with deer horns. He's eyeing the beast, which is giving him the red eye stare, and suddenly remembers he forgot his milk. Bummed he hasn't grown taller, while the beast charges and he's doing the math on average height for a 13-year-old. Annoyed, he smashes the monster's stomach with a punch. He's looking at the beast's skull, wondering if munching on horns would help him grow. But hey, he's still the strongest around when someone in the forest calls for Ella, and Urianin, now older, gets the scoop from Arlen, an old nun, that they're ready for the magic school entrance exam. Arlen, who took them in after the director's demise, checks if they're good to go, and Ella's like, yep, while the sibs wish each other luck. The nun's all smiles, saying there's a reason they're still here, hoping the big guys got their back for the exam. Urianin's all, magic school's been the dream since the orphanage, trying to keep his cool, thinking about the last 4 years of monster battles. Now, people might throw shade, but he's grinning, 'cause that's what this fantasy world and magic school are all about, the underestimated hero. He's laughing and shouting, pumped for what's next, while the real magic school, set up by the royal fam, is massive with tons of rooms, where they train talented folks, no matter their status, to protect people from monsters. Today's the big entrance exam day, and this noble kid Chris, with his orange hair, is all. This place is epic when he spots some peeps, noticing most have blue brooches, noble students like him, but then he's spooked, seeing someone with a red brooch, the royal fam's princess. Nervous, he finds it kinda funny. This year's exam is no joke, super competitive, and Ellis chatting with Urianen, telling him not to let the nerves get to him. This convo catches Chris' attention, who sees folks with black brooches, while Ellis all hyped, saying she and Urianen need to play it cool. But Urianen's like, "You're the nervous one." Laughter echoes, and our hero's wondering what's up. Seeing the scene, he's been waiting for. Chris, the noble, is all, "How do low-status folks dream of getting in here?" And others with blue brooches mock Urianen and Ella, asking if they can even read, calling them poor. The teasing goes on, and the nobles are sure they'll be out. Ellis getting stressed, our hero's stoked. Ellis, the classic hidden strength character, and she's shaking her head, trying to keep it together, holding back her anger. She turns away, ignoring them, while Urianen's confused, asking what she's doing, and she tells him to stand strong and ignore the fools. She explains that, for these people, social status is everything, and that's just gross. Urianen's like, "Hold up," and follows her, thinking this is the moment he's imagined for years, when a dude announces the start of the 29th entrance exam, and the test's gonna be in a battle arena. Director Mages breaks it down, saying the exam's simple. As students, the goal is to protect people. And Mages wraps up, saying sword skills and magic powers will be tested, while Urianen hears voices mocking him for rocking a black brooch of a commoner. Jie Ryunbai, the fencing instructor with a blindfold and dark hair, is all about showing off. He tells the students they gotta slice the target with a training sword in one go, then slices through a dummy like it's made of butter. The students are all, "Whoa, did he just cut air?" Ryunbai starts calling names, and Tien, with her fancy white hair and noble vibes, looks like she's about to face a dragon. She squeaks out a "here," and steps up to the dummy, probably wishing it was a pillow. Ryunbai, chill as ever, tells her to go for it whenever she's ready. Tien, still shaking like a leaf, asks if she'll get booted if she doesn't nail it in one go. Ryunbai's like, "Nah, we ain't expecting fireworks from you." He adds that she's the same level as the other kids, so no pressure to be a sword-wielding superhero. Tien gets it kinda and swings at the dummy, but it's more of a love tap. The teacher sees the scratch and moves on to the next kid. Chris steps up, but his sword only makes it halfway through, and Rishel does the same, like they're cutting through a tough steak. Then it's Ellis' turn, the sister of our main dude. Ellis all nerves, but her brother's hyping her up, saying she's got this, and Urianen's like, "Just cut half, easy peasy." Ellis, feeling the love, thanks them and gets ready to slice. Ryunbai gives her the green light to start. Ella grips the sword, ready to show the dummy who's boss. Some noble kids like, "Why are commoners even here?" Classic Ella flashes back to 4 years ago when she couldn't protect Urianen, and she's fired up. She swings and bam, the dummy's in 2 pieces. The teacher's jaw drops and Urianen's grinning like a proud sibling. The nobles are losing it because she's the first to go full ninja on the dummy, even with a black brooch. Ellis like, "Now I can protect Urianen cause he's a bit of a noodle." Ryunbai's silent, knowing the target had an enchanted rod, and cutting it takes serious magic mojo, which Ella did without even trying. Ryunbai's eyeing Urianen, thinking Ellis got some serious skills. He calls Urianen up next. Our main guy steps up, sword in hand, trying to focus like he's in a movie montage. Ryunbai tells him to start when he's ready, wondering if he's got his sister's magic touch. Urianen swings, but it's more of a dramatic air swipe. The nobles saw it coming, and even the teachers like, meh. They laugh, saying he couldn't even cut halfway. Cause commoners and all that. Ryunbai notes Urianen's not quite his sister's level and calls the next student. Urianen's secretly stoked, cause he did exactly what he wanted. After the test, all the students line up for the magic test, and teacher GS running the show. The cute kids like, "I can't do magic," and the teachers all smiles, saying it's cool. The wand can make water even if you're not a magic whiz, and she explains they'll go one by one. Chris, full of himself, steps up, bragging he's got this. He grabs the wand and nails a water attack like he's showing off at a pool party. Guests impressed, giving him props. Chris is soaking up the praise, and everyone's clapping like he's the next big thing. The teacher tells him to take a seat, and now it's Urianen's turn. Chris struts back, feeling like a champ. Urianen raises his hand, ready to roll, saying he's got this. The teacher tells him to grab the wand and step up, but when he picks up Chris' wand, he fumbles it. Chris, with his ego the size of a mountain, can't handle a commoner touching his stuff and tosses it on the ground. He tells Urianen not to stand up when getting something from a noble, calling him a lowly commoner, leaving Urionin stunned. Ellis worried and teacher GS like, boys, chill. Urionin bends down, telling his sister it's all good, thinking, thanks to this jerk, everyone's watching me. People are smirking, waiting for him to flop, and Urionin's like, perfect, just as planned. He steps up to the target, wand in hand, ready for a weak sauce attack. He's thinking he'll be the ultimate underdog, grinning to himself. But then, out of nowhere, a massive water blast shoots from the wand. Urionin's eyes go wide, totally confused, cause that was not part of the plan. Ella and the teacher are totally shook, while the ladies all hold up. Something's up with the wand. Before she can finish, the whole class is screaming, totally mind-blown by what they see. Our main dude is sweating bullets, thinking, oh no, not this. He checks out the wand, realizes he accidentally snapped it, and is like, I'm so toast. Seeing a regular kid break a magic thing, everyone's jaws hit the floor. The nobles, Urionin, Sis, and the teacher are just standing there, speechless. Chris and his crew are all, what just happened? While the orange-haired nobles stressing about getting outdone, they're all wondering if the wand blew up cause the commoner's magic was too strong, and Urionin's like, ooh-ho, we got a problem. A nobles all, maybe the wand was just busted from overuse. Chris jumps in, saying no way a commoner could wreck a magic tool, and our guy sees a way out. Scared of being outshined, all the nobles agree, no way a commoner had enough magic to break it. Everyone buys it, thinking the wand was just unlucky, and the commoner got a bad break. Our guy's secretly stoked looking at the wand. He's all, guess it was weak if my little power broke it. He's feeling like a secret powerhouse now, ready to keep his cool and not get caught. Later, the head honcho says the final test is to squat up in threes and hunt a magic bear monster for its tooth. The old dude's all, doesn't matter if you're good with a sword or have tons of magic if you can't face a monster. Time to prove who's boss. Our guy's like, wait, the final test is just monster hunting? And his sis is all, we're so close to our dream. Let's crush it. Urionin beams at his sis, nodding, ready to give it his all. The director's like, I'll announce the teams, and those with matching brooch lights are together. Ellis' black brooch lights up red, and she's all, which team am I on? A white-haired kid's like, found you Ella, we're on the same team, my brooch is red too. He's with the royal princess and asks Ella to join them for the forest quest. Ella's down, and Chris, feeling a bit jelly, says Ella lucked out teaming with the princess. Our guy thinks it's cool cause his sis is with strong peeps, which will help her ace the test. Before heading out, the young girl waves to Urionin, wishing him luck, and he waves back. After his sis leaves, Urionin's wondering why he didn't get a light, and some nobles start teasing him. Urionin's like, being ignored is fine, but wonders if he'll have a team when suddenly, a voice goes, finally found you. A gray-haired dude and a white-haired girl roll up, saying their team has no color. The guy asks if he's Urionin, while the girl stays quiet, looking shy. The dude, Rishel, says he watched Urionin during the test, and wants them to give it their all. The girl, Tien, introduces herself, but stays shy, and Urionin's relieved to have a squad. Two nobles with purple brooches spot Urionin's team and laugh, saying the black and green brooches are together. They joke it's Rishel's fourth try and call him talentless, typical suburban commoner stuff. Tien gets called an abandoned noble, and the teasing bums them out. Urionin's like, what's going on, checking out his teammates. He thinks he's with a repeater and an abandoned noble, but he's all, this is perfect. Grinning, he says they'll pass, and Rishel and Tien, impressed, smile back. Rishel's all, Urionin's so chill and confident, even with nobles around, he should totally get into the school. Urionin, a bit lost, nods. Tien, nervous, asks if they can pass with all these challenges, saying she bombed the magic and sword tests and isn't feeling it. Urionin remembers the tests were for school entry. He recalls using the sword and wand, getting all nervous and freaked out. Urionin remembers Ellis' pep talk about doing their best for a better life in a mini panic. He worries about letting his sis down. Rishel, all confident, says they still have a shot. He explains that, though not proud, he's got experience from taking the test 4 times. He knows even if you flunk the first 2, you can still pass. The hunting test scores big, and if they team up, they can totally pass just by nailing the final test. Urionin feels a wave of relief, thinking he can pass with his sis. But Tien wonders why Rishel's so sure. Soon they spot this massive forest with trees so big they could touch the sky, and the sun's just lighting it up like a scene from a movie. After the pep talk, Urianen's all, "Uho, not sure I can do this." Then, boom, the kids are sprinting away from this fire-breathing bear beast like it's a scene from a wild video game. While they're running, Rishel's yelling at the noble to fight the bear, but Tien's just like, "Sorry, gotta keep running." After what feels like forever, they find themselves deeper in the forest, totally lost. Rishel's like, "Phew, we made it, but wow, this test is way tougher than I thought." Urianen's thinking he needs to take down the monster bear to pass, but he's clueless on how to do it with his squad. Our heroes all, "I could totally take on 100 of these beasts solo. But what now?" Rishel's like, "If we keep this up, we're toast. Gotta think fast." He's all, "Everyone's got their struggles, but I can't fail this year. It's my last shot." They hatch a plan to just snag the beast's molar, leaving the other two scratching their heads. Rishel spills the tea, saying the test's about hunting a monster bear and grabbing its molars, but since they're not exactly strong, they'll just take the teeth. Urianen's puzzled, but Rishel's like, "Trust me, I got this." From a distance, Rishel points out that the monster's always showing off its teeth. He says if Urianen and Tien follow his lead, they can snag the molars without even taking down a beast, and they're stoked. Rishel's like, "Lucky us. Bears are the easiest in these tests," and grabs a bag, telling Tien to pour some liquid on herself. Tien's confused, but Rishel explains it's deer blood, cause bears have a super sniffer, and it'll distract them. Tien's nervous, trying to say she's not great at running, but Rishel's like, "No worries, I figured." With a serious look, he says the bears will ignore him and Urianen, attacking when the beast's munching on Tien, making her even more nervous. The plans to grab the tooth while Tien's in trouble. But Urianen's not having it, grabbing Rishel's wrist to stop him. He asks if Rishel really wants Tien to die for nothing. Rishel keeps his cool, asking what's the big deal, and if Urianen doesn't want to go to school with his sis, saying sacrifices are part of the game, frees his hand, and goes back to opening the bottle. He challenges Urianen to come up with a better plan, saying he'd never pull it off. Rishel adds he can't do it, cause he's from a lower class and is set on his harsh plan, saying unlike nobles, commoners aren't born with mana, so they gotta stick together. Rishel's like, "It'd be a win if we pass, even if it means sacrificing a noble, cause they wouldn't care about her anyway," and says they could use her however they want. Tien, for some reason, almost tears up, remembering something when she hears this. A memory hits Tien of her mom saying she heard Tien flunk the test again. Her mom's all, "Ricky's big bro was awesome," and starts doubting if they're even related, making Tien feel all sad and down. Her mom adds she's the family's embarrassment. Tien's ready to accept her fate, but Urianen's like, "Even if you're ignored, you'll have your moment to shine," and tells Rishel not to judge someone's worth so easily. The noble's surprised to hear this. Rishel, seeing his buddy won't go along with the plan, throws deer blood on the two boys with a cold, mean look, saying Urianen should die too. The bear catches a whiff and starts moving, the beast spitting fire and, with a mouthful of teeth, charges at Urianen and Tien, ready to take them down. Tien's freaking out, clueless on what to do, but Urianen just stands there, grinning. Seeing his chance scared for her life, Tien screams, trying to think of a way out, and spots something. Watching Urianen, she thinks he's weak, and they're doomed if they keep this up. Determined, Tien grabs her wand. With a fierce look, ready to face the monster solo, the creature roars, scaring Tien for a sec, but she remembers her mom's words and clenches her teeth in anger. As the bear attacks, Tien uses wind magic to defend herself. Powering up, she shouts she's a noble too. With her mana, she creates the wind blade, forming magical daggers all around. Staring down the bear with pure rage, she goes for the attack. But it's like no biggie for the bear, just stands there, eyeballing them. Tien's freaking out, but Urianen's all chill, saying the monster's got some serious armor. Tien's brain is like, "Get Urianen out of here ASAP." The boy's clueless, but then he spots this whirlwind forming on the side. Urianen feels the air getting chilly, and Tien's like, "Heads up, landing's gonna sting a bit." She's like, "Only way to save you was to yeet you up," still working on the landing part, but Tien's grinning, saying it beats getting chomped. With a fierce look, she locks onto the monster, no second thoughts. She magics Urianen away, and he's just screaming his head off. Tien's remembering when he had her back, feeling all warm and fuzzy, thanking Urianen for the courage boost. Facing the bear, Tien's hoping Urianen's out of dodge. The bear swipes with its claws, but somehow it misses and she's suddenly somewhere else, hitting the ground. Urionon swoops in, catching her before she face plants, and as she passes out he's like, "Told you you'd get your hero moment." The bear's all confused like, "Where'd Tien go?" And Urianon's thinking Rishal bailed to dodge the drama. Thanks to that, he saves the day. The bear, realizing its snack's gone, spins around. The beast lunges at Urionon, claws and teeth ready, but he's like, "Gotta collect those teeth, bro." With a slick move, he slices the beast in half, leaving just the jaw. The monster's like, "What just happened?" And Urianon's plotting a prank before Rishal shows up, wondering where he vanished to. Rishal's already chilling elsewhere with some dudes and someone's like, "What's the plan?" While 6 kids gear up to ambush. Ricky, the princess and Ella are squad goals, and the nobles like sword and wand are for monster slaying only. One kid with Rishal's like, "Ella, join us, we'll ace the exam for you." Ricky's puzzled, saying only the principal can pass or fail, asking how they plan to pull that off. The kid's like, "We'll make nobles fail and we'll pass instead," but his buddy's like, "Dude, zip it." Ricky's like, "So all the commoners are teaming up." But the kid's like, "Nobles want us to fail, it's their fault again." He's like, "Ella, come with us." And Ricky's like, "You think you can beat me with her?" The kid's nervous but laughs, saying it's not them whole win. And his friend's like, "Stop spilling the beans." But the kid's like, "Monsters will take down the nobles, we're using bear monsters to our advantage." Ricky's all serious, saying he gets it. Tien's bro notices more commoners joining, realizing it's all part of a long game. The princess says they probably knew bear monsters go wild for blood. Looking sad, she's like, "This sucks for the boys, as royalty it's a bummer." She adds that future Magic Academy students using monsters like this is a no-go. Switching to angry mode, she tells Ricky to catch them alive. She says those using the exam and monster traits to endanger others will face royal investigation. Ricky, sword ready, charges at the boys. Spinning his weapon, he knocks out 3 exam kids. The 3 commoners hit the ground out cold and Ricky faces the rest. Rishal, scared, tells the others to splash blood on Ricky. They do, but the blood just stops like magic. The glasses wearing kids like, "How's that possible? Who did this?" The kingdom's princess, using magic, tells everyone to surrender now. Cerudis like, plans toast. And Ellis got a sword, staying quiet. The hero's sis thinks those 2 are epic, not needing to lift a finger. Rishal, watching his plan crumble, says this year was their one shot and they'll never get another. Alright, buckle up, 'cause the story's about to get wild. He warned them, if they got caught it was game over for everyone. And the 2 remaining commoners started freaking out. In a panic move, Rishal cut his own arm, hyping his friends to not throw in the towel. The boys, super ticked off, reluctantly followed suit. Seeing the blood flow, the princess wondered just how far they'd go for this crazy mission. Before she could even process, a squad of beast bears, mad from the smell, charged at them. Ella freaked out, spotting for bear monsters, clueless about what they were seeing, the scary beasts. She wondered if kids like them could even handle such monsters. Rishal was all, "We won't get caught that easy," cursing the nobles, while Ricky, chill as ever, activated his wind power with one swift move. He sliced off the heads of the 4 bears in a flash. Rishal just stared as the bears' bodies hit the ground, and his plan hit a dead end. Ricky, all calm, said commoners shouldn't get hurt just 'cause the plan flopped. They're kingdom citizens too. Ella, watching, realized this noble was on a whole other level. After a bit, all the commoners were tied up and Rishal cried, bummed about the failure. Ricky, eyeing the boy, remembered his sister was in his group, and asked where she was. Rishal's face turned creepy and he started laughing like a maniac. He said both Ricky's sister and Ella's brother were in his group, still laughing for no reason. Creepily, he claimed Urianon and Tien were already toast, and the 2 boys were nothing compared to Ricky and Ella. Adding the bears were probably licking their bones, leaving Ella and Ricky spooked. Rishal wrapped up saying if they were lucky, maybe one was alive, and the princess immediately sent Ricky after them, saying there might still be clues. Desperate, Ella chased after the boy, calling for her brother, but the princess told her to stay put. Shaking with worry, Ella stopped right away, 'cause it was a royal order, but she wanted to know why. The girl, with a frosty look, said her little bro was there too, and she had to save him no matter what. With a sad face, Cerudi said she got what it was like to hear something might have happened to family, but she couldn't go coldly. The princess said the girl would just mess things up, and Ella stood there for a bit. The princess explained if things went down like Rishal said, and they were bear chow, the place would be a bloodbath. The monsters, drawn by the smell, would swarm there, 10, maybe 20 beasts, and who knows how many more would show up. Suruthi said Ricky was skilled enough to take them all down. But fighting bears while protecting the girl would be tough even for him. She asked the girl to trust Ricky and wait. Ella hesitated, gripping her sword tight, calling her brother's name. After a bit, Ricky, with his white hair, dashed towards where he thought his sister was. He saw Tien on the ground, clutching a monster bear fang, but something made Ricky stop fast. In front of him, our hero was rocking a knight's mask. Looking to the side, Urianen wondered what was going on, as he wasn't the same glasses guy who attacked them before. Ricky noticed the boy wore a black brooch, so he was probably part of the group that attacked the princess. Seeing his sister out cold, Ricky wrongly thought the masked dude was the bad guy and demanded how he dared. The hero charged at Urianen with his sword, but Urianen quickly blocked him. The swords clashed, and our hero managed to stop Ricky's attack, who wondered how that commoner blocked his strike. Urianen said a surprise attack was risky. Trying to chill things out, Ricky thought his reaction speed was insane. The white-haired boy asked if Urianen thought he'd get away clean after attacking his sister while thinking the secret student powered up his sword with mana. Our hero, behind the mask, said it wasn't him. Urianen asked Ricky to chill and listen, saying he got the mix-up, but he wasn't one of them. Before he could say more, Ricky used his wind power, catching Urianen off guard. A wind lion attacked the small boy, who managed to dodge. Our hero warned Ricky it was dangerous, thinking the attack almost cracked his helmet. Tien's brother seized the chance to get to his sister, casting a windshield around her for protection. Ricky said someone sketchy with a helmet was with his knocked-out sister, plus being a commoner, raising suspicions. Alright, buckle up, 'cause this story's about to get a glow-up. So, Ricky's all, nah, this kid ain't one of us. Urianen's like, phew, thanks dude. Ricky spots the kid's ninja moves, dodging punches like a pro, and goes, hey, I'm Ricky. The kid spins around him with the wind spirit. Why, eldest son of the Viscount, no biggie. Urianen, feeling grateful, goes, call me Urian Sungung, but it's totally a fake name. Ricky's like, Urian, huh? Cool, so got a question for ya. The kid's fuming, wind blades swirling. You know who messed with my sis? With all that wind power, our hero's like, dude, chill, the wind's annoying, I'll spill, but oops, I kinda erased her to keep her safe. Urianen's like, yeah, that was me, but Ricky's already ticked off. The kid's all, I'm smashing that silly helmet, and charges in. Our hero's thinking clearing up messes is tough, sighs and rolls with it. He remembers needing bare molars for the test. Grips his sword, ready to rumble. Urianen tells Ricky, well, chat later, and bounces out of there. Tien's bro's like, whoa, this guy's speedy. Judging by his moves, he's at least an intermediate knight, but the wind kid's right there, ready to rumble. With his lightning sword, he's all, my sword's faster, and swings, but the masked dude's gone, and the air's sliced in two. Ricky's thinking he nailed it, but opens his eyes and poof, the kid's vanished, leaving him all puzzled. Before he can ask, he gets whacked on the neck and blacks out. And just like that, before he can even wonder, he's down for the count, mind blank. Urianen's like, Ricky, you just hit a speed ghost, bro. After the test, the director's like, 29th exam's a wrap. Chilling with teachers when an assistant's all, yo, some kids went wild with monsters, but the princess handled it. The director's like, nice work, team. And the magic teacher's all, these students are lit, but a pink-haired dude's like, nah, it was chaos with the commoners. The woman snaps, Jerry, zip it, school's about skills, not status. But the snobby teacher's like, it's all a show, and throws shade at the girl's dad. Guess fuming, shut it, don't drag my dad into this, while the director's yelling, making the assistant's ears ring. Spill the rest. The assistant's like, 29 passed, hey, race the top 10, and everyone checks the list. First up, Princess Suruthi, looking all Sakura with pink hair. Second, Ricky, Wind Spirit Clan, still shook by Urian Sungung, the masked dude. Third, Jade, Magic Swordsman, stoked to be top 3, 4th and 5th, SIA and Mu. Sisters whining about not being first and 6th, surprise, it's Ella, our hero, sis, red hair and all 7th, Chris, minister's kid, whining about a commoner beating him. 8th, Reizo, the troublemaker, grumbling about the test, threatening to go wild. 9th, Hina, Prince's biggest fan, gushing over Suruthi. 10th, Goliath with slanted eyes, calling Reizo a psycho. Tien, Wind Spirit Clan, checks the list, sees he's 24th, barely made it, thinks his bro's epic for being second, but no sign of Urianen. Our hero's laughing nervously, sweating bullets, realizing he flunked the list, confirming it, thinking he got the bare molar but slacked in fencing, and Magic Ella shows up. Heard about the trap, glad you're okay, wishing she could have helped. Urianen's like, no worries, sorry for the stress, praises Ella for 6th, mentions top 10 perks. Blushing, she thanks him, calls it luck, hopes for more next year, but our hero's like, next year? That's SUS Ellisall, not signing up this year, wanna take the test with you next year. Since their dream was to pass and hit up school together. But Urianen's totally shook. Chris, the noble dude, hears this and cracks up, saying they can fail together, and even though he's super embarrassed, he keeps laughing. But Urianen and Ella just ghost him, while Urianen's thinking if he should give him a knuckle sandwich. Professor GS getting all heated, saying the results are whack and she can't deal, but the director's like, nah, this is what we expected, and his assistant's nodding along. GS all not talking about the top 10 but how Urianen didn't make the cut, while the director's assistant's like, Urianen's Ellis bro, and even with the molars, seems he didn't do it solo. Ryunbi's throwing shade, saying Urianen's fencing is meh compared to his sis. But GS like, nah, Urianen's got mad skills they haven't even seen yet. The annoying kid keeps roasting our main dude. He's doing this totally clueless about what's about to go down. Cause our guy's patience is on thin ice and he's thinking about giving this dude a free nose job. Then one of the teachers bursts in with some urgent tea. The Magic Academy's decided to let one more student in after this test. And this news lights up hope in all the background characters, but plot twist. Urian gets in as an honorary student, even though he flunked. This instantly makes the other students green with envy. Like, how did a regular dude score such a win? Ellis over the moon hearing this, now she can hit up school with her bro, and our guy's dying to know how this all went down. One teacher's scratching his head. Like, how did he fail when Urian's got mad talent? At his age, he's already flexing mana strong enough to smash a magic artifact. Plus, he's shown killer control over his power, stopping a sketchy situation from getting worse. Not letting someone like him in is a major L for the whole kingdom. The red-haired teachers all. When the bear showed up, this kid would have been toast if not for Tien saying he still needs combat XP, but the teacher's like, that makes no sense, hell get that XP at the academy. Thinking Urian could be one of the top students. But this red-haired teacher's a total tool, getting salty about humble folks getting into the academy. And this dumb rant just fires up the teacher's rage, saying a teacher shouldn't be judging students by their background. As they're bickering, the old dude tells them to zip it, saying the academy's all about potential, not where you're from. He also trusts Professor ZS judgment, who's a big deal hero in the kingdom. If she thinks so, it's a sign this kid's talent shouldn't go to waste using his rector powers. He lets Urian in as an honorary student of the Magic Academy. But since he's in on special terms, he can't slack on his grades or else he's out of there. But our main dude's still hyped. Ricky rolls up to him sure. The kid he met in the forest is Urian's height. This makes our girl suspicious, knowing he had to KO this dude in the forest. Thinking he's busted, Urian's getting super jittery. But Ricky starts recalling all their evaluations and our guy's performance. No way he got beat by someone like him, so he bounces. Seeing all this, Ella's clueless about what just went down, not knowing Urian's super relieved he didn't get caught next day. They're all at the academy. Our guy's sis is super jittery cause they're hitting up the advanced class. As soon as they roll in, the other students are already there. Ricky and Surti, the top dogs in the test, are chilling together. The twin girls are there too, and all those extras just adding to the scene. Our main dude sis is lost on where to sit, while Urian feels like he's back in elementary school. He's curious about what they teach here. Since magic and sword skills are a big deal, it's gotta be different from his past life. Before they hit the room, they got hassled by Rizzo, whose life goal is to be a total pain to everyone. He barges in, and Urian's thinking this dude's about to get schooled by his fists. As the jerk strolls in, another kid jumps up like he's on springs. Chris says he's late, but the jerk's not vibing with that correction. Totally freaked, Chris says the jerk should set an example, being all noble and stuff. But those words just make Rizzo even more ticked off, trying to flex his test rank. Chris says he's one spot above the jerk, suggesting he not be late tomorrow, but he's shaking in his boots, saying it's smelling the fear. Rizzo says the kid might regret it, but rank doesn't make him stronger, since that's not enough to show his full skills. Seeing this, Elle is worried, thinking a fight's about to pop off, but our boys just hunting for a chill spot to sit. The other extras are all hyped for a showdown, but one of them's got a totally lost look. Urian and his sis snag some sweet seats. Elle is like, these chairs are next level comfy. Seconds later, Jade pops up, introducing himself all chill. The girl responds super formal, but Jade's like, nah, we're classmates here, and he's amazed someone from a humble backgrounds in this advanced class. First in academy history, and he's pumped to train with them. He suggests ditching the social stuff and being buds, but Urian sees this dude's got eyes only for his sis. Jade then greets our boy too, and our hero's like, we're not blood siblings. This news flips Jade's switch, and he even clenches his fists all eager. He says he wants to see what makes our hero an honor student, hoping he'll show his worth. It's like all the students are on fire. That was just day one, super tiring, but not much new for them. Strolling outside with his sis, Urian says classes really kick off tomorrow, and in this chat, Ella spills she's relieved to finally hit the academy. She suggests they make the most of the time until their siblings can join too. Then, bam, two more jerks spot the commoners being seniors. They say it would have been impossible a few years back, and the academy standards must have dropped. That gets Urian hyped, like it's time for him to shine by taking down bullies. The seniors demand respect. Just for being older, our hero sis tries to smooth things over, but those jerks tell her to ditch it. Pronto Ellis all confused, not getting there, talking about the uniform. Now way more aggressive, the dumbest senior tries to yank the uniform off our hero. He pulls hard enough to lift him, but something wild happens. The senior feels this kid's super heavy. All while our hero's just staring at him, chill as ever. Before things get worse for this extra, Jade spots it. He rushes over, saying the academy doesn't. Judged by social status, our hero sis is worried, not knowing Urian's having a blast. Jade, now speeding up, orders them to put the boy down, as that's against academy rules. One jerk's feeling embarrassed, while the one who tried to lift our boy's fuming. He decides to smack Ella with the back of his hand, saying seniors deserve respect no matter what. Jade's watching, totally shocked, while our hero's surprised too. Time to dish out some justice to this extra. In the rector's office sits Haiwan, a retired fighter. The rector's thanking her for leading this year's advanced class, but she sounds like there was no other choice. Hearing this, the rector says she should be more pumped cause this year's class is a big deal. ITLL make academy history. Haiwan asks if he's talking about those siblings. Despite the nobles' positions, the rector let them in anyway. The teacher gets why the girl, even though she's just a regular kid, is getting props for her sword skills. If she was born into a fancy family, she'd be set for life in the kingdom. But she can't feel the same way about Urian. Professor Z says he's got mad talent, but he hasn't shown much yet. Still, he got in as an honor student here. Maybe that's why the head honcho thinks this class is a big deal. Seeing Haiwan's curious face, the head honcho asked if she thinks the academy's doing its job. This place is supposed to be for talented kids without fancy backgrounds, but it's turning into a playground for rich kids. The teacher, who's seen some action on the battlefield, agrees, but she doesn't get all the hype, even though she trusts the dean. While they chat, she asked him to peek outside, through the window. Since the dean's hope is having serious problems, he jumped up to fix it. But the teacher said to chill for a sec to see what goes down. She also wants to see the talent the dean saw in that kid. Then, out of nowhere, some jerk smacked Ella in the face. Jade and our main dude were totally shocked. While Urian rushed to help his sis, the young noble was ready to throw hands, promising to make those kids pay for what happened. But those extras are super cocky, thinking they've got the upper hand, and they didn't feel scared. However, the biggest one is freaked out because he can't figure out how our main dude slipped from his grip. He didn't loosen his hold for a second. Our main dude can see the mana swirling in that jerk's hand. Before he smacked his sister's face, looks like he forgot he's just a side character in the story. Time to remind him Jade's already throwing down with this jerk, who's feeling all big and bad because of his size. Something Jade's figuring out bit by bit. Wanting to mess with the newbies more, the jerk told his buddy to use magic cause it's time they learned some respect before anything went down. Our main dude told Jade to bounce. The young guy's worried about Ella, but our main dude healed her with magic, so she should be good. As soon as he said that, everyone, even the teachers, were shook. Ella woke up, not getting what went down, and Urian told her to be careful. Now our main dude's hyped to show his real battle skills. But before he could do anything, he saw those fools were already mentally caught. Back in the dean's office, Haiwan asked if this is why our boy got into the academy. Our main dude can't even get why everyone's acting like this. Jade asked if he really healed Ella's wounds. Our boy said he just used some basic healing magic, but it's time to drop some knowledge about this wild world. Healing magic fixes bodies up depending on the caster's skills. It can take 5 to 15 minutes. Even the top healers need 5 minutes to heal, and what these kids are saying is our main dude showed off too much with this. Our poor boy had no clue. He thought healing magic was instant. Finally those jerks got why our main dude's the honor student, and Jade was mad as Urian wowed Ella even more. As if that wasn't enough, the teacher told them to wrap it up. 'Cause student fights can get you in big trouble. Now our main dude knows who was spying on them, but his sis Ella didn't even notice. The teacher watched our main dude closely, and ended up smiling. Agreeing with the dean, she let the students go, saying next time they'd be in trouble. The jerk's thankful for this, but promised he'd get revenge. Keeping up with the day's vibe, Urian's stoked they have their own rooms. Seeing his sister's room is super cool. But while he's happy, his sister's bummed. She didn't think Urian had such epic skills. Instant healing isn't a thing in this world. Urian tries to play it cool, saying it's no big deal. The girl realized that after graduation, Urian would move on to even cooler places, and this might pull them apart. This thought also makes our main dude a bit worried. Getting all pumped, Ella said she won't be left behind. 'Cause her job is to stick by his side and protect him. She's also in the advanced class, so it's up to them to give it their all while they're here. Alright, so the first class kicks off and the teacher's all, "Hey MANHWA, your guide for this year MANHWA's got a rep." Some extras whisper she's a retired warrior. Our main dude's like, "Whoa, she's a warrior?" After spotting her the day before, the teacher's sure they're loving their private rooms. A sweet perk for the advanced class regular students? They get the basic stuff, but these guys? They're munching on the best grub, using top gear, all 'cause they're the cream of the crop. They gotta keep it up till graduation, earning mad respect from everyone. But there's a catch. A demotion system's in play. If grades tank, they're booted to the regular class, and she drops a bomb about last year. No one graduated from this advanced class, and she's curious who'll make it this year. Our hero's fired up, ready to crush it. The teacher grabs the chalk, starts scribbling the first lesson. It's deja vu for our guy. He's feeling pumped for a killer start. This advanced class is a whole different ball game, all about being the best, so class size changes. Thanks to this, they get those sweet perks. Graduation means a golden ticket to success, but mess up and it's bye-bye prestige. Can our hero keep his A-game? The teacher kicks off the lesson. Our boys grinning a bit. Some classmates? Totally mind blown. The teacher's showing them some basic math. One kid's like, "Why math at a magic school?" The teacher's curious about his magic goals. He's all, "Wanna be as strong as you and help the kingdom." She's impressed, but to get strong, magic's not the key. It's all about world knowledge. Use knowledge like a tool, and boom, personal skills level up. She conjures a tiny flame, asking how to make it bigger. The kid's like, "Just add more mana." She makes the flame huge, saying he's spot on. More mana equals stronger magic. But what if mana's gone? She asks the girl with funky hair, nervous. She stutters. "Ask another mage?" "Nope. Wrong. Haiwan's got another trick." No mana needed. She whips up some wind in her hand, combines it with the flame. The fire roars bigger. Our boy, with his past life smarts, gets the combustion basics. The teacher's like, "That's knowledge. Don't just focus on mana." Now time for a super easy test. Everyone's scribbling away. Tests on. Time's up. Teacher's checking answers. 3 nailed it. Extras crossing fingers. First perfect score? 32nd. Shocker, it's Rizzo. The snob ennoble's jaw drops, thinking Rizzo's just a show-off. Rizzo's all, "Can't believe that guy didn't ace it. For someone who's early and aced the test, he's a flop." Class rankings update monthly. Rizzo's chill about it. But he tells the noble to step up. He's lagging. Finally, the last name's announced. No shocker, it's our boy. Everyone's buzzing, even his sister's like, "Whoa." Urian's trying not to crack up. He's a survivor of the hardcore Korean school system from his past life. Multiplication? Child's play for him? Time for our hero to shine? He's the school's top talent. One extra's like, "Whoa, impressive." Jade's not backing down. Teacher's like, "That was easy, now for the prize." She uses magic, sending little emblems to the students. They gotta slap this on their clothes to show they're in the advanced squad. And with this badge, they can access all the cool stuff on campus, like the VIP meals just for their class. This news got our main dude super hyped. His sis is also blown away by how tasty the food is. Now they've got all the reasons to stick in this class forever. While they're munching on the meat like they're from another planet, they promise to keep their grades up after everyone's stuffed. It's time to teach them how to hunt beasts. Unlike the morning test, this lesson affects their grades, and messing up could mean getting kicked out. Knowing this, Ella swore she'd snag first place. Since they're still newbies, the teacher said they're too young to hunt solo. She decided to bring in some seniors to help out. Among them are those bullies who bugged our main dude. The teacher said teamwork's key for this task, and our guy knew things would get tricky. The seniors realized if they didn't play nice, it would mess up the freshmen's grades, so they told them to behave if they wanted any help. Jade's super nervous and suggested to Ella and Yuri and to team up with the seniors for now cause he needs to stay in the advanced class, but that's a fact of life for all of them. Even so, our main dude doubts those two will play nice even if they pretend to. Knowing his grades tied to those bullies' opinions, our guy started getting really ticked off. Then, he seemed to hatch a plan. He went up to the seniors to say something. He suggested a little wager one of them wasn't into it, thinking our guy's just a cocky first year. To change their minds, Yuri and said he'd show what he's made of before he could do anything. One of those bullies got super mad. He grabbed the chest with the swords and chucked it far away, telling the freshmen to grab their gear quick. Cause it's time for a real showdown. If they lost, they'd cooperate. The biggest bully said the weapons are real, so they better be careful. Not even the teachers could tell if the injuries were from beasts or swords. Feeling scared, our guy couldn't believe the deal. So he asked if they'd really cooperate if they lost, which the extras confirmed. This was a huge relief for our main dude and his pals, like a gift from above. They're so pumped now that the seniors are clueless on how to act. They decided not to go easy on these freshmen. The biggest one chose to fight Ella, who he once punched in the face. His swing was meant to slice even the sword, but she blocked it, leaving him shook cause that regular girl could use mana in her weapon. She remembers what happened last time cause she couldn't protect her bro. And that was only cause she couldn't stay chill. And she promised no one would catch her off guard again. Pretty freaked out, the senior called for his buddy, saying he needed his magic. Using a support move, he covered his friend's body with armor. But the dude needs to watch out for the other students. Jade's sneaking up from behind, ready to end this once and for all. A dark glow took over his hand and the top of the senior's wand got sliced. He couldn't even process what just happened. Only then did he see Jade holding a magic sword. The dude said taking out the enemy mage is rule number 1. Now only the second bully was left, who had to beat 3 foes. He decided to target the mage too, making the bad call to go after our main dude, but Ellis not letting that slide. Even so, the extra keeps closing in on our guy, who's already waiting with a big grin. When they're super close, the extra could feel that intense bad vibe that made him freeze in his tracks, until Ella's scream echoed everywhere. A huge beast is sneaking up on our guy from behind. His claws are about to tear into him. The creature did hit something, drawing blood, but it wasn't from our main dude. Urian saw his sis got seriously hurt. Seeing that, Jade freaked out and decided to use his magic blade. With the second form of his move, he managed to wipe out the creature, creating a massive hole right in the middle of its noggin. The poor extra just stood there, totally helpless. Seeing the creature go down with one hit, and that girl should have been toast, but plot twist, our hero healed her, and now his sis is all good once again. The extra saw that instant recovery magic, realizing he was in the presence of some next-level students. After facing the truth, he started feeling super small, announcing that they all passed the test, and it won't mess with their grades. But, being a total jerk, he said our hero hadn't passed yet. Even though his healing skills are epic, they're just support, so he's still a loser. This fact stirred up some drama among the extras, since their mage is also a support pro, but our hero squad doesn't care anymore. They're on to bigger things. In a cabin in the woods, there's the teacher. No class on the schedule for today. She's chilling with other teachers, and it looks like they're having a cozy time. He-One wonders if it's cool to just hang out, doing nada during class, but one teacher told her to trust the seniors. Teachers need chill time too. Yet He-One's still thinking about the lesson's practical stuff. Plus, she's being watched by her colleagues there in charge of the second-year students and know what's up. They insist the advanced class students stay safe. But He-One's sure something's up with her students. She's not sure if it's all just kindness, and she let a bit of her killer vibe slip. That crazy pressure freaked her colleagues out. But He-One snapped back to normal, giving a chance for nothing to go down since her students are advanced class. One of those jerks dragged Jade to meet. The other seniors, the poor dude's still clueless about what's happening, and a mysterious guy gave props to the jerk's work staring at Jade. He said he's got a sweet deal for him. This guy's Laryl, a second-year advanced class student. Second year at the academy's called the Demon's Nest, all because of one student, that dude Laryl, who's now demanding everyone fall in line. When he joined the academy, that's exactly what he did with his crew who didn't want to play along. The class started with 10 students until something went down, and many got wrecked. Only 3 gave in while the rest ended up in the hospital. That's why there are only 4 students in this class now, following a strict pecking order. Jade's curious about what the second-year advanced class is doing there. Laryl seems to know about the boys' family drama, saying the house of the magic blades going downhill. A heavy load for someone so young. His family's legacy rides on his performance in this class. This made Jade start to remember the past. Those who couldn't handle magic blades can now do it like it's nothing. The boy's super worried about his dad. The evolution of magical tools has totally flipped the kingdom scene, and the house of the magic blades fading because of it. The family head's bummed out, calling his son. He said he needs to ace the advanced class to prove their techniques still got it. If the boy flops, their future's toast. Laryl promised he could get Jade through that class, which left the young dude pretty puzzled. The senior said he's got powerful connections. Watching the lesson that day, that's why they told Laryl to pull something off if Jade helps. He'll totally gain from it. These words left the young dude super confused, but his senior swore he was legit. All he needs to do is go back to those commoners and follow orders. This'll be a breeze compared to the rest of graduation. Laryl's only offering help because he knows Jade's family's in a bind. So it's time for the boy to step up for his folks. After he got back to his crew, Ella asked if he was cool. Both were getting worried because he took forever to come back. While they kept asking, Jade started using his technique. Our hero quickly sensed the danger because their buddy's got a sword in his hands. Before the strike could land, our hero stopped something worse from going down. Visibly ticked off, he told Jade it was way too risky for just a joke. Then boom. They're stuck in a blade prison. Jade warned Urian to chill. Electric vibes zap through those swords. Hell be out cold before he can heal up. Watching this, our hero's not even stressed. He thinks it's kinda cool. Jade just asked them to hang tight for a sec since the vet said he could snag all the points for this lesson solo. He's gotta stay in the advanced squad. The regulars just wouldn't get it. Still, Jade promised he'd come back to done. But our dude's shocked by how clueless this citizen is. Laryl ended up smacking the kid for asking for the commoner's limbs. And now he's asking if Jade's really gonna go against the elite's orders. What he told the kid to do was exactly that. Take out those siblings. The big shots don't get why commoners are even here. So, time to wrap it up in this lesson. That's Jade's mission. No teachers allowed here. Everyone's in the same cabin, kinda like a mission guarantee. Laryl said they gotta pull this off no matter what. Can't let the big shots down. Plus Jade's gotta be useful to his fam, but what went down was a beatdown cause he messed up. Laryl thought he wanted to graduate in the advanced class. Still, Jade's risking it all for a couple of commoners. But the kid doesn't see it that way. He couldn't go that far. Laryl said classes just started and they haven't even bonded yet. But Jade doesn't see it that way. He knows Ellis got mad fencing skills, totally advanced class material. Even if Urian's kinda weak but got in as an honor student. But he's super smart. Hell helped the kingdom level up besides his epic healing skills. Hell be a legend, curing diseases and all. These guys have a future in the empire unlike the snobba nobles. These two can bring a bright future. Laryl wasn't feeling this speech, saying only doom awaits Jade's family now that he's defied the nobles. His family's downfall is a done deal. This includes his innocent little sibs. The kid started thinking back to his sibs' hype about him getting into the academy, thinking their big bro's the real deal. But what's bugging these kids is if this news will make their dad happy again. Cause they missed those days. Jade was shook by this and said things will change soon since he'll graduate in the advanced class no matter what. Laryl keeps being a jerk, trying to sway Jade, saying it's not wrong to put family first over the kingdom's future no matter what. Those commoners are toast today. No teacher's gonna save them. Time to face the harsh truth. The two are almost holding hands, but Jade's had enough, smacking the jerk's hand away. He told him to scram. Cause he hasn't botched his mission yet, saying he'd protect his friends and fam. Laryl said the kid will eat those words. In short, hey race the deal. Laryl's a jerk, aiming to end our hero and his sis. Jade's trying to stop that from going down. The catch is, it's not gonna be easy. The opponent he's up against is super tough, so he's gotta keep his head in the game to win this. If he loses, Innocent lives are on the line. Laryl said. Head stab Jade 10 times. Then head come for our guy. Jade instantly saw the date in the kid's hands. Then he felt this massive pressure, freezing him in place, getting hit by the blade in the gut. While he's in pain, Laryl said he used to swing a sword too, but switched to something smaller to get up close and personal. After tossing the kid's body aside, he said only 9 stabs left. His crew knows Laryl's got a skill that freezes opponents. When they gave in to this kid, it wasn't by choice. No other way out. What he does in a fight is a full-on attack. Laryl said in 10 seconds, hell stab again. Jade's realizing time's zooming by, but he's still stuck like a statue, no clue why. So he whips out his magic sword, ready to rumble. He tries the 4th move, turning it into a whip, hoping to smack the jerk. But nope, still misses the mark and, surprise surprise, same old story. Jade gets hit by the knife, frozen in place while he's down. Laryl's all smug, loving Jade's oh no face. In 10 seconds, it's gonna be deja vu. Jade's gotta act fast, so he switches to the sword's 3rd form. Now it's a spear and he's chucking them at the dude. Some old-timers cheer, thinking the newbies are lit. But Jade's still not landing any hits, and now he's got a hand injury to boot. Meanwhile, the jerk's counting down like it's a game show. Jade and his sis, Ella, are stuck in a sword dome, and she's clueless. She's worried the old-timers are bullying the newbies. But Jade's chill, thinking it's just those annoying guys again. Still, he's got a bad vibe about it. Far away, Jade's getting poked like a pincushion. He's barely standing, looking like a noodle. The extra who brought him there is freaking out. Laryl tells him to scram before he wets himself, 'cause they're there to do some serious damage. The extra's all, my bad. Laryl strolls up to Jade, noticing he's still kicking. Time to finish off the siblings. Jade's efforts were a big fat zero. All his moves were pointless, and soon his fam's gonna be toast. Seriously, what a jerk. Can't stop yapping nonsense. Trying to mess with Jade's head, saying it's all pointless. Finally, Jade's like, wait a sec. Realizing the ability freezes him for 5 seconds. Then there's a 10-second break. Laryl's not thrilled about his power being figured out, saying it changes. Not a super ticked, he stabs Jade again. Jade's in major pain. But Laryl's still clueless why Jade won't just give in, so he's trying all sorts of mind games. Jade spots a chink in the armor. The guy's relentless. Then he spills why he's going all out for regular folks, saying Laryl's probably never had a real buddy. And that's just sad. Dude looks like he hit a nerve. Laryl's ready to go full psycho. But before he can use his dagger, something wild happens. The weapon's tossed away. Jade's just as confused. Then a familiar voice chimes in, asking why he's hogging all the points. Urian jokes his buddy should try acting, then heals him up. Jade's shocked his pal showed up. While the old-timers are baffled by the instant healing, Laryl's not digging the surprise party. Our hero says this jerk's not going home in one piece, especially with that mug. Time for a lesson in real violence, but Laryl's oddly happy about it. Saves him the trouble of chasing the guy. All he needs to do is finish him off now. But our hero's too cocky, ready to smash this extra's face before the showdown. Jade calls his magic blade, using the 2nd move, creating a wild spiral. Laryl's not thrilled seeing Jade back in action, realizing he's healed up fast. Jade's curious why his buddy's here, but our hero knows his friend should know when to bail from danger, even though he was hurt bad. Urian's unsure if his buddy's really okay, but Jade assures him the healing's top-notch and Ella's safe. Princess Certes got her back. This news is a huge relief for Jade. But Laryl, the big-head villain, hates being ignored. While Jade's spooked by the tension, our hero starts roasting the villain. Truth is, there's a killer vibe in the air. Jade warns his buddy to bounce ASAP, 'cause this guy's way more dangerous than he looks. But our hero's just here for the thrill. Laryl declares none of them are allowed to run. Once again, the paralyzing power is back in action, freezing its victims. Jade's clueless about who's next on the hit list, and that's got him sweating bullets. Danger's closing in fast. All he can do is try to whip out his magic blade, crafting a shield to block that sneaky dagger. Jade quickly figures out he's target numero uno, but after blocking the attack, Laryl's rage meter hits max. Our hero, watching his buddy's moves, is hyped. It's seriously cool. Laryl knows he's got to take down Sword Boy first, hence the shield. But after another knife throw, he claims it's all pointless. However, our hero's not vibing with that, so he shoots the guy a serious glare, channeling some dark, Epic energy. He warns if that knife flies again, it's game over. That makes Leryl's blood turn to ice. Fears got him locked. While Leryl's frozen, our hero heals his buddy again. Jade's still on edge, unsure of what's next, and suggests they bounce, but Leryl snaps back to his usual self. Game over, he says. His crew's got 10 minutes to finish them off. The extras are ready to roll with the plan because they're all equally twisted. Jade's now extra spooked, forgetting about the squad. Escaping one dude's tough enough, but dodging all these clowns? That's a whole new level. Thinking about the mess, he realizes hope's a no-go. Summoning his bravery, he shakes off the fear. Action time. All he needs is an escape route, but figuring this out is getting trickier by the second. Until our boy jumps in, saying Jade's done his part. Urian swiftly taps his buddy's neck. That seemed to flip his switch. Lights out. Playing dumb, Urian asks what just went down. One extra thinks Jade fainted from fear. Urian says his pal can chill now, he's got this. Ricky's waiting for the wrap-up. Our hero's taking forever. His sis is worried too, thinking something's up, since Urian promised a quick return. The princess agrees they can't wait forever. Time to search in the woods. Leryl's hunting his targets. They vanished like ghosts. No witnesses allowed, but he's puzzled how a regular dude can run so fast with someone on his back. So he decides to end our hero's story. But then, a mysterious figure pops up, surprising him. One noble tells the stranger to scram. They're on a big mission. Our hero, helmet on, says it's been ages since he had fun, and it's time to relive the glory days. He hopes for a decent fight. Leryl, getting more ticked off, decides to unleash his skills. Our boy introduces himself as Urian's blah blah, master of the elite sword. Leryl calls his crew to attack, thinking the target's wide open. The villain watches, sure his plan's foolproof. The first extra can smash rocks with his fists, the second's just a sadist, and the third stops at nothing. Leryl's pumped to have such loyal soldiers. While he's lost in his fantasy world, all the extras get launched away. Leryl turns to see what's up, only to find his crew totally wrecked. Our hero says the paralysis trick's too weak for him. This just cranks up Leryl's frustration, using his move again, leaving our hero unimpressed, realizing the guy's clueless. That move's useless against him. Apparently that's all Leryl's got in his playbook. With the tables turning, the clueless guy's getting more desperate, unable to rely on his power. Leryl tries to land a hit at any cost. But it's nowhere near enough to make a dent. Our hero doesn't even need to draw his sword. Eventually, he snaps the blade with his bare hands. Seeing that, Leryl's speechless, and our boy can't believe he's the top second-year student. This whole thing's a letdown, always being underestimated. Leryl's boiling with rage. Revealing it's been 4 years since he last wielded a sword. Now he thinks he'll show something brand new, and our hero hopes so too because he's itching for a surprise. Once again that freeze move gets pulled, but not a zip zilch. But hey, Leryl's got more tricks up his sleeve. This time he actually nicked our hero. Just a scratch on the arm, no biggie. Leryl's real flex is his speed. Can't blame him for last year's mess. Even with his major character flaws, he's got skills that are kinda cool here. Thinking he's got the upper hand, Leryl brags about his unmatched speed, and in this fight, speed's gonna turn into power. He even gave props to our dude for being tough, aiming to chop off an arm. Lucky it was just a scratch, but our dude's already over it. 'Cause the blood on his clothes? Not his. Finally, Leryl gets what's up, a big OL cut on his chest. Now he's on the ground, all bummed out, and our hero's like, really? That was just my warm-up. Freaked out, Leryl claims he's a big deal in the kingdom. Messing with him means messing with the big shots. But our dude knows about his sneaky assassination plot. Jade's life was on the line because of it. Realizing he's been found out, Leryl starts to freak. Our hero's like, nah, not gonna end up with my head in a tree. And feeling generous, the dude wants to know who this guy really is. Our hero's like, spill the beans or it's game over. Meanwhile, the hero's squad senses some wild mana vibes. Ricky's like, whoa, that's Urian's blah blah's power. The princess knows he's the culprit from the exam drama. Ignoring her, Ricky zooms towards the energy with his wind skills. He's trying to get there like ASAP, but what he finds is Leryl, down for the count. Ricky's like, yo, Urian's blah blah. And our dude's like, just call me Urian's bro. Now face to face, Ricky sees even the top second year can't handle this masked dude. Seeing the power, he wants to know why the student got whacked, but our dude's like, nah, didn't do it. Ricky's not buying it. Sword out, he vows to make the masked dude spill. Our hero's like, "You stronger than Laurel?" But Ricky's all confident, thinking he won't lose again. This time, he's going full wind spirit mode. These words got our hero thinking, remembering that entity he met, saying he could be anything. Our hero realizes there's more than just humans out there, and Ricky's channeling the wind spirit. Power up time, our dude's digging it, thinking he needs that boost. 2 wind swords pop up, all aimed at our hero. The attacks start flying, and our dude notices the air's getting cooler from all the action. A massive impact hits his spot. Our hero deflects it all with 1 hit, saying his opponent's gotta step it up. Ricky thinks his opponent's slipping. Time to strike, and finish the fight with 1 blow. Once again, his power surges, making our hero even more curious. As things drag on, Urians drops a riddle. He's there. But check your back, what is he? Ricky's super focused on his move, but the riddle's answer shows up behind him. After images the answer. Gotta hand it to the hero, that was slick. As he fades out, Ricky's like, "Cheap trick, dude." But our hero admits he's at least better than Laurel. In the end, the training session's totally scrapped because the suspect from the exam drama showed up, causing chaos. The teacher storms into the principal's office. Fuming, the poor guy gets an earful, but she's not happy with what went down, and the principal seems clued in on the training chaos. Haiwan's not thrilled about being away from her class, and what really ticks her off is her students getting hurt, which makes her think it's all a setup by someone. A puppet master pulling strings. Hearing this, the dean's on board, some bigwigs behind it all. This gets the teacher super mad, and she lets a bit of her power loose in the room. The pressure was so intense, it was like everything was about to explode. Haiwan's crossing fingers that the return isn't mixed up in this mess, or things are gonna get wild, and he mentions she's not the only one feeling ticked off by it. The dean's super bummed about what went down with his students. He's swearing up and down he's not in on anything, but maybe the other teachers are, so he's grilling everyone, thinking he'll crack the case soon. Haiwan's all about checking out the second-year classes that messed with her students. Right now they're needing some serious TLC after getting wrecked by Urian's blah blah. Now the teacher's got this wild theory that Walter Annie from our crew might be an Empire spy. The dean's not saying anything yet, but he's all about figuring out who this person really is. 'Cause this dude's a big threat and might be plotting his next move. Little do they know, this dangerous guy's just stuffing his face with food. Urian's totally obsessed with the food here, eating till he's about to pop. No worries about getting demoted, with so many hurt in the last test. Nothing crazy's gonna happen soon. The snob noble's not a fan of how our hero eats, while the moody one's saying talking with your mouth full is a no-go. And by hanging out so much, the snobby one's slowly getting over his fear of his buddy, who joked about booking him a hospital visit if he keeps it up. Other extras are buzzing about what went down in the test, and are shook by our hero's epic healing skills. Those sketchy twins are trying to get closer to the dude, but not the main dude. It's the one who just joined his crew. Jade's all good, and just rolled into the cafeteria. He blacked out for a bit, but he's totally fine now. Before he got there, Ella mentioned she heard about his epic move to save them. And she's hoping he won't pull a stunt like that again, but learn to ask for backup too. 'Cause they're tight now. Jade's hyped about this friendship while our hero's still munching away. He even joked to Jade that his sister's got more of a thing for him than that other dude. With that mission done, all the first years nailed it. Everyone's chillin' now that they all passed. Until the next test rolls around, it's our guy's turn. If he bombs it, he's out. A consequence he knows all too well. The dean said he got in as an honor student, and bad grades are a no-go. Still, he's sure the guy's gonna ace it, and now he's breaking down how it all works. It's time for the magic tests, where they gotta hunt some wild beasts. They're all heading into the Forest of Resilience, and snagging 20 points means they pass. The emo kid thinks this is a total waste of time and energy. The dean heard that and is gonna clap back at Rizzo. The forest beasts are split into 5 classes. Tigers, wolves, and bears are level 1. Weapon-shaped creatures are level 2. Natural disaster ones are level 3. There's also disease-shaped ones, which are level 4 and the only level 5 creature on the planet. Time. Some students might already know these pack a punch. The higher the level, the scarier they are. And even though it's tricky to explain how deadly they are to humans, these spheres are humanity's forever foes. Rizzo's curious about how to score the 20 points. The dean said that's a killer question. Level 1's worth just 2 points, level 2 jumps to 5, and so on, like a math problem. And all they gotta do is rack up 20 points. The students have 5 days to wrap it up, and they'll be judged solo. They gotta prove they belong here. Our hero's wondering how he'll beat those beasts without showing off his powers. Meanwhile, those odd twins want to know more about the level 3 creatures. The dean noticed this is the third time a first year's asked about this. These creatures are worth 20 points, but if you run into one, better hightail it out of there. Apparently, it doesn't go up like a math problem. The dean was just too lazy to explain. A teacher there said level 3 creatures can't be taken down by students alone, so he and Professor Z will be there to keep things safe. He wins sure this time. There won't be any outside drama, 'cause she's gonna personally keep an eye on this test, guiding her students to focus just on the task, and all this is making our main dude super jittery. He's gotta pass and keep his secrets, which is no easy feat. Our guy thinks the test will be a breeze, but loads of people are gonna be watching the students, and among them, Professor Hyoin is really stressing him out. This snooty young noble rolls up asking if Urian knows the test is solo, and in the end, all he can do is heal. Snagging those 20 points is gonna be tough. His sis overheard and said she'd help him out somehow. But for Urian, maybe this will help him somehow. He's not stressing too much. The eye patch wearing prof said he already sent the students to the forest. As soon as he heard this, the dean was super stoked. Using a crystal ball, the blonde prof is keeping a close eye on the princess. Those magical gadgets she's using are all synced up, so spying on everyone is a cinch. Holding one of those spheres, the dean's itching to see who passes first. That low-key prof, who's like a background character, bets on the princess. She's got mad skills, but the eye patch prof thinks Ricky's got it. He's a total standout. While the blonde prof thinks there are loads of prodigies in that class, which made the background prof ask about the honor student. Then the annoying red-haired prof popped up, saying the commoner would never be first, and soon would be booted from the academy. These words got the blonde prof worried. Hyoin, not buying it, said they need to keep a close watch on what unfolds. She said this while eyeing our main dude. Looking up, Urian spots the magical eye on him. This is a real pickle. He's got to score without blowing his cover. For this, he needs to figure out the power level in this world, since, without knowing, his healing skills are just insane. Thinking about this, the boy started to ponder. Without noticing a giant rat creeping up behind him, Urian found the creature's presence super gross. And the rat started growling at him, totally ticked off, but that didn't faze the boy, who's still being filmed. He quickly grabbed his wand, zapping a spell at the creature. The blonde prof was thrilled, sure that water shot was epic. Even the annoying supremacist prof had to admit the boy's got skills. Never seen anyone wield wands he made so well. The eye patch prof is blown away by the mana. But that's not all. That attack was weak, the rat's still kicking. But for our boy, this is getting fun. That show of power didn't have any side effects. The first few times he showed this, he felt a sharp pain in his heart. But this happens when he tries to use way more power, unlike now, so he can amp up his attack while it's not deadly now. Knowing this, he realized he's getting surrounded by rats. And our boy is pumped to find out his heart's limit. That's when he spotted an even scarier creature behind the rats. This beast looks like a sword. It makes a swift move, chopping off a rat's head. Its cuts are now heading for Urian. That attack hit the ground hard, kicking up a huge dust cloud. The profs rooting for our main dude are worried, 'cause they can't see a thing. Finally, the dust clears, showing our main dude totally fine. The blonde prof guessed he used instant recovery, while the supremacist prof is trying to figure out what went down for Urian. That's just a level 2 creature worth 5 points. He's curious if Elle is doing okay in this test. Elsewhere in the forest, the girls with Jade and they're in a jam, 'cause they ran into a level 2 creature. A monster shaped like an axe. Jade suggested they bail to find Urian. If the boy's solo, he's probably struggling too, but these kids need to focus on the now. The evil axe is swinging hard. Using his strength, Jade tries to block this attack no matter what, but it's too strong for him. Caught off guard, Ella joined him to fend off that attack. The two students are putting in serious effort, now motivated to impress a cute girl. Jade used all his strength and stopped the attack. But he made sure to thank Ella for her help, telling her they're buds. To poor Jade, he thinks they're super tight while he's crushing on Ella. The girl noticed his hands are still shaking. Level 2 creatures are mega strong, and they could seriously mess up her brother. After clenching her hand with determination, she decided she'd handle this monster and find Urian. Jade was all in on this plan, thinking Urian might need backup to score points. Fighting this creature, they ended up feeling way more confident. The enemy might be tough, but it's not unbeatable. They want to see if they can take it down, but soon their plans got wrecked. It was total chaos. A level 3 creature just popped up a hurricane. Time to bounce in the teacher's room. everyone's glued to the test. Juan hasn't stopped watching our main character. Each of those teachers is keeping a close eye on their students. And out of nowhere, one of those spheres started to crack. This left the blonde teacher super worried. That's not supposed to happen. An emergency alert is blasting through the room. A level 3 creature showed up. Even the cocky teacher is worried, and all the spheres are cracking. To the headmaster, this is super weird. That test forest is for first-year students. Only level 1 and 2 creatures should show up. Yet a level 3 creature appeared. A pretty bad situation. The headmaster immediately called for the teachers. They should head to each of the danger zones. Keeping the students safe is the biggest deal. They're the future of this kingdom. The hurricane that showed up is pretty ticked off. Seeing that massive creature, Ella started to freak out. She has no clue how they're supposed to take on something like that. Jade, seeing she's stressed, told her to focus up. He thinks the instructors are already on their way, so they gotta stay alive. Hearing this, Ella seems to have gotten her courage back, but she still can't stop worrying about our main character without realizing it. Her body started to lift off the ground from the wind. Jade drove his sword into the ground and reached out to his friend, hoping to grab her. Finally, they managed to hold hands. But the winds are getting stronger. Jade tries to hold on with all his strength, and a mysterious glow appeared in the mist. The boy looked that way, super scared. He and Ella need to dodge this attack ASAP. A huge slash tore the ground and almost got them too. Luckily, they dodged it, but things are still super tricky. Looking around, Jade realized things are only getting worse. They're surrounded by creatures. Ella also got up, trying to figure out what to do. Both decided to grab their swords. There's only one way out. They gotta fight. They decided to go for the level 2 creature. Jade immediately switched up his sword, making a big shield that blocked the incoming attack. Now he knows he can defend against that level 2 creature. While it was busy attacking Jade, it didn't notice Ella sneaking up, ready to strike. Her hit was spot on, but she didn't seem too happy about it. Even though it hurt the creature, it wasn't enough. They need to hit it again. Jade came up to her and said not to worry. The boy is super determined. He remembered a chat with his mom about risking himself for the family's future. Jade thinks he's ready for this and isn't scared of what might happen. But after thinking a bit, his mom said he's wrong. He doesn't need to sacrifice himself for the family. He needs to use his power to protect himself and what matters, not carry the whole family's weight. Jade remembered during the fight with Laurel he held back a lot, scared of making his family a target for those weird nobles. Even so, he was ready to sacrifice himself to do what's right, even getting help from our main character. He also heard kind words from Ella, who was worried about him. The poor guy is also thinking about his siblings. Jade now overflows with determination. His potential is skyrocketing. He used the first magic blade move, totally slicing that creature. Seeing all this, Ella can't hide how impressed she is. She doesn't even know what weapon was used. It was so fast her eyes couldn't catch it. Jade is definitely awesome, but the young ones need to worry about the level 3 creature still lurking. Looking back, Ella saw the creature was super close. Jade told her to watch out. Both are now getting tossed around by the wind, and they're totally clueless about what to do. With just one gust, they shot up like a rocket. Then, boom, the free fall kicked in. If they hit the ground from this height, it's game over. But before gravity could win, our hero swooped in, using wind to break their fall. Even though Jade's landing was more of a faceplant, Urian can't hide his hype. Facing a level 3 creature, Jade, with a headache, is just glad Urian's still kicking. He mentioned the instructors are on their way, and they gotta stall until backup arrives. But our hero's all about those points, suggesting they team up to take down the creature. Jade's mind is blown that Urian's serious, cause that's just wild. Ella's impressed, frozen with fear. While her brothers got guts for days. Poor them, they don't know Urian's just thinking about the points. Even though he's super strong facing the level 2 creature, our hero's only worry is flexing his power. The evil sword's ready to strike, and that rat's in on it too, knowing he can unleash his power without a hitch. He wants to see how far he can push it. During his clash with the sword, he noticed the magic eye started to crack, until it finally shattered, meaning no one's watching the showdown while the rat tries to pounce. Our boy hopes his friends are okay. But he wasn't thrilled about the creature's interruption, so he had to teach it a lesson. Taking the rat's head off with one swift move, now he can focus back on the evil sword. Urian's worries just took a nosedive. With no one watching, he can start experimenting, and the sword's gonna be his test subject. The poor creature didn't stand a chance, it was toast in one hit. For Urian, using his power freely is pure bliss. As soon as the fight wrapped up, he heard a familiar scream, his sister's voice. In the teacher's room, the headmaster's stressing, asking Professor Z to fix the magic sphere. But she's clueless about how this happened to all of them at once. Something's fishy. Fixing these gadgets is taking forever, making her wonder what's going down outside. Urian's facing that level 3 creature, ready to hunt it with his crew. Jade and Ella are blown away by his bravery in front of them. The creature opened its mouth again, blasting a massive gust of wind that was enough to send Jade flying. The poor dude crashed into a tree trunk hard. Looking back, Ella saw what went down. And even though he was hurt, things got fixed real quick. Jade was healed by our hero's actions and is back in the game. Urian looks at his buddy with total confidence. Jade finally got the plan. They're not just beating the monster, they're hunting it, fueled with determination. He teamed up with Ella to start fighting back. They know they gotta hold that creature. Using all they've got. Running from something like that is a no-go, and they learned that the hard way. Turning their backs on something so dangerous is a big no-no. Their only option is to go down swinging, doing their best to survive. Watching his friend's determination, our boy started to worry a bit. Maybe it would have been smarter to suggest they bail so he could snag those points on the sly. It's gonna be tough to beat the creature with his pals in the way. While he's pondering this, someone calls on the wind spirit's power. A massive sword appeared in the air. Ricky commanded the magic artifact to hit its target. That summoned sword pierced the level 3 creature. Jade and Ella, caught in the action, were shocked while Ricky gave props for their bravery. They definitely have the heart of true knights. Our hero was bummed, thinking his 20 points got swiped. Jade wasn't thrilled with the help either, hinting Ricky snagged the points on purpose, claiming they could have taken down the creature solo, and to top it off, he showed off in front of Ella, Jade's crush. Our heroes backing this up because their buddy acted like a point thief. But then, plot twist, Ricky said they could keep the points, leaving our hero surprised. That dude was all, "ID never slow down these talented peeps. They're gonna be the kingdoms someday." A year ago, things would have been different, but Ricky found a worthy rival. Then he was all, "Show me what you got right now. If they prove themselves, hell, hand over the points." No prob. Checking out the commoners, he knows Ellis got mad sword skills and Urian's a magic whiz. And there's still the sword master Urian blah blah, the mysterious dude stronger than him. That's why Ricky's all about leveling up ASAP. Before they could blink, a creepy figure popped up behind him, asking if Ricky beat level 3. Everyone except our hero was like, "Oh no, we're doomed." That spooky creature was like, "I don't want to die." This made all the students kneel, swords at their necks like a bad horror movie. In front of our hero, they went all self-destruct mode, but our boy hit them with instant healing. Now he's heading for that creature, wanting to know who this weirdo is. The monster was like, the power that leads people to doom. Level 4 depression. Who knew real-life monsters were a thing? Mind blown. After that wild ride, our hero squad is shook. Jade started to hurl while Ricky's still piecing together what just went down. He's like, "Did I really just cut my own neck?" He also noticed the creature's got scars on its hands and neck. Our hero, though, isn't scared of this baddie. And the depression's trying to figure out why he's still kicking. Urian was like, "Those words are a bit much for this story," but the monster was like, "Just doing my job. People stop living when they meet me." Our hero's like, "No way, this creature's for real." Still shook, Ricky went to our boy saying he's got mad skills. Since he was the target, he knows the physical and mental damage got fixed, and that's a big win for the kingdom. Ricky's all in to protect the boy. Once again he called on the wind spirit. The depression saw he's got a powerful ally. And the gray-haired boy's ready to throw down. Urian's still amazed the creature can chat with them. With its own brain and ego, the depression's definitely level 4, geared up for battle. Ricky's clueless about why that creature's in the forest. In a careless moment, the depression got close, saying it doesn't want to die. Once again, all the students are ready to go self-destruct. Blood started flying everywhere. Our hero, seeing all that, told the creature to knock it off. It still watches as the bodies squirm on the ground. Seeing the wounds heal for the depression, that's no accident. Watching our hero, it realized its mission's changed. It needs to take him out before the others. as the boy's messing with its plans. But Ricky's like, not on my watch. Trying to figure out how our hero resisted that attack. His magic resistance is epic, and Urian gave Ricky props, who's really number 2. But for that young prince, our boy's skills are hero level. This time, the depression's going for a Hansen attack. What Ricky sees is nightmare fuel before anything could happen. Jade busted out the magic blade. With that, he managed to nick the depression's arm. Even with a strong attack, it didn't do much damage. Freaked out, they're telling Urian to bail ASAP. But our boy's totally chill because he knows he can handle this anytime, but his crew doesn't know that. So Ricky's getting more stressed, using his wind magic to yeet them all from danger, which bums our hero out. Only then did he remember the gray-haired boy's Tien's bro. She could also use the wind to yeet him. Despite everything, they're pretty alike now. The depression's alone with its foe, who didn't bounce with the others. Ricky knows escape's a no-go for everyone. All he needs is to stall as an ex-warrior's on the way. This didn't scare the depression. It just sees the boy as a crybaby. Ricky's hands are shaking. He's wishing for this to wrap up soon. Gathering all his guts, he called on the wind spirit again. The depression's ready for the hit. A huge boom happened as the dust settles. The depression was like, that's it? For now, it hasn't gone after that kid directly, but Ricky's getting super freaked out. Just then, the masked professor showed up, ready to take on a level 3 creature. But things are kinda wild. He swooped in to save Ricky, and is all set to throw down with the big bad depression. The creature's keeping quiet about what went down with that dude, so the professor whipped out this crazy fast wind move. Nearby, Jade and Ella are just chilling on the ground, and our main guy's way up high watching the action below. OMG, the professor's move turned him into a butterfly, and now, with his epic Winx princess wings, he's ready to rumble. Ricky had to plug his ears cause this wind's making a ridiculous racket, all while the depression's just standing there, not moving an inch. The noise is intense, echoing through the whole forest. Until it hit the headmaster's ears, he knows the eye patch professor's in the mix. Trying to fix the magic sphere, ZS like, something's off. No way, all the spheres got wrecked at once. Making repairs a no-go. There's something even stronger out there. Messing with the signals. Now the headmaster's starting to sweat using a magic call. He tried to reach high one. Things are getting messy. A level 3 creature's popped up, plus the observation spheres are toast. Too many weird things happening. Maybe a level 4 creature's lurking. But the headmaster's clueless about what's causing this, and thinks they're after the princess. The reason doesn't matter now. He's ticked off. Time to make these guys pay. He told Professor Z they gotta keep the students safe in the forest till the royal guards show up. All he hopes is nobody gets hurt this time, counting on the butterfly wing professor's power. The depression, seeing that, made it clear those butterfly wings won't stop it. Waving its hands all menacing, the depression said, a butterfly's no match for it. Ricky started to stress, but the butterfly's too quick. It dodged the attack, and now it's about to grab its sword, swinging a clean hit towards the depression. Even so, the creature's got its hands free, grabbing it where the butterfly professor was. But it was just his clothes. The butterfly professor's still free, light, and chill. The depression quickly turned, trying to catch the butterfly's joy, but the butterfly professor's super speedy. That depression's too slow for him, and it can't beat his happiness. Ricky's watching the fight closely, realizing the butterfly professor's super fast, almost invisible. If anyone can beat the depression, it's gotta be this happy professor. Just when he was about to win, something went down. Poor Ricky fell into despair again cause the butterfly professor stopped the attack, only to stab his own leg with his sword. He can't figure out why he's doing this. Realizing this is the power that makes someone give up, his butterfly wings vanished. The depression saw he's not as confident anymore. His happiness gone. A desperate feeling hit the butterfly professor's heart. He felt like his life was pointless, all his effort wasted. But using butterfly wings takes serious willpower. The professor bit his lip. With that, he got control back and asked why the depression showed up and what it's after. The creature saw the butterfly professor wants info since it loves to chat. It said its goal is to wipe out humans. Super worried, Ricky said the butterfly professor needs to bail now. He's already bought enough time for all the students, and the butterfly professor knew it was true time to be smart. He didn't come to the forest to beat that creature. No one's been hurt yet. Time to head back and report what went down. But depression was faster, and now humans are stuck in their sadness. This scene for depression is pure art. It won't be long before they stop living. Depression decided to help by squishing them with its hand. Inside the Academy's main building, Tion felt something happening to his bro, but Depression's attack couldn't go down. Something showed up right then. A creature with 3 pairs of wings, the wind spirit Wei, decided to make an entrance. The entity wasn't thrilled to see Depression. Chopping off one of the creature's arms with its attack, it announced itself as the mighty wind spirit. Finally, Depression started feeling, well, depressed. Alright, buckle up, cause this story's about to get wild. So, there are these 4 mega powerful spirits and the wind spirit. Total drama queen, super moody. Depression's all freaked out, apologizing like, whoa, didn't mean to step on your toes. But the creature knows spirits usually mind their own biz in other dimensions. So, it politely asks, yo, why you meddling now? Nature's forces here are run by these 4 epic spirits. The wind spirit Wei is the most selfish and complicated of the bunch. Depression's shaking in its boots in front of Wei, so it asks, why you messing with my stuff? Wei's like, I'm not here to chat with someone so tiny. Depression's jaw drops like, say what now? Wei's all, humans gotta live, and if they do, I won't mess with your human drama. Depression's like, whoa, I'm negotiating with the wind spirit? All this over 2 totally useless lives. But Weiss like, nah, they're cute and I dig good-looking humans. Plus, Weiss got beef with Depression for being super ugly. The creature's thinking, this deal's whack. Spirits don't usually, but in Weiss like, are you even a spirit to be talking this nonsense? Time to answer or Weiss gonna go full in destroy mode. Even Depression's like, dang, that's some next-level selfishness. Risking it all for those 2 doesn't fit the big plan. But if they're spirit-worthy, they might be trouble later. Maybe it's best to end them now. Weiss watching, thinking Depression's a real dummy. With a flick of its hand, Wei wipes out a chunk of Depression. Now it's just a pile of nothing after that smackdown. Weiss like, you thought you were hot stuff, now face the music. Depression's gonna die 4 times for being a brat. The pain party kicks off. We only wanted to chat cause it's the wind spirit, and it does what it wants. Depression's reduced to a heap of nada. But it bounces back, ready to take Weiss' deal, saying it's got a mission here, claiming it's making a big sacrifice, but Weiss not having it, telling Depression to scram. And poof, Depression's gone. We sees the beasts are on the move again. Now it can hug Ricky. It's been ages, trying to wake the kid just to hear him talk. When he wakes, Weiss all chill again. Finally, it glances over, spotting the butterfly prof, still not using its powers. Meanwhile, far away, some bad vibes are going down Depression's back. Ticked off from being dissed, no more time to waste in this forest. It's mission time, determined to wipe out all the students for kicks. Swearing no one's leaving alive after that tantrum. A power wave rocks the forest, but Depression's clueless about who did it. Then it spots the culprit. Our heroes found the monster. Urian's bummed for hesitating again, wanting to keep his powers on the DL. Depression's stoked, thinking it's found its first target. Says fate's a thing and you're done for. Time to feel real pain and lose all hope. Depression grabs Urian by the neck, saying he's about to know despair like never before. The more Depression squeezes, the more Urian's veins pop. But Urian's had enough. He grabs Depression's hand, rips it off like it's nothing, saying Depression's power is zip in front of him. The creature's bleeding out. It spawns a bunch of hands trying to attack our hero. Fear spreads through the forest, even reaching Ella. But our hero knows how much power to show, so no more holding back. In a sitch like this, with one punch, in true Saitama style, he takes down Depression. The rise of a level 4 creature, the first in ages, triggers an emergency meeting in the kingdom's capital. All this gets reported to King Brahidness, and the rector's the one spilling the tea, saying Professor Borbolita and Ricky saved all the students. Both were found knocked out cold, and checking out the battle scene, it seems they got saved by the epic wind spirit Marquis Drades, picturing an intense showdown, thinking those other folks also hit up the battle spot. Poor them, they have no clue our hero's the real MVP here. The chubby Marquis is stressing about this beast's power, which has been chilling for ages, leveling up. They want to wipe out humanity, and if this was a showdown with a mega spirit, humanity's toast. The dude with the goatee told everyone to chill, since these fancy folks are still in front of the king. He's Marquis Zerdas. The guy with the long hair mentioned humanity's leveling up too. Every kingdom knight's got mad skills. As long as they stay alert, humanity won't get wrecked by creatures like these. That's the knight commander, but his name's a tongue twister, so he's Kaiba now. The king's nodding along. Humanity's strength is all about planning and bouncing back. Now it's up to the rector to point out where the beasts popped up, so they can handle it while Kaiba's on security duty keeping everyone safe. Seizing the moment, the rector brought up another topic about the Academy's yearly games. The king's aware there's a showdown with the Empire students with all the chaos. The rector suggested pushing the games to next year. Some nobles think that's bonkers since it messes with the kingdom's tradition, plus the Empire's latest hype. They're already pumped for the games, especially after the level 4 beast drama. The chubby noble thinks delaying the games screams cowardice. Another noble mentioned they've been winning for 3 years, and the Empire's itching to even the score. But the rector knows level 4 beasts are brainy. That attack had a plan. The king just watches as the nobles start bickering, and the goatee noble knows if the knights are around, the creatures won't dare a heathen attack. The rector agreed, however. A level 4 beast went after his students. Hearing this, the chubby noble's asking if the rector thinks the kingdom's doomed if there's an attack, but the king told everyone to zip it, even though he gets the debate's importance. He said the games must go on. With all the necessary precautions, delaying the games would give the Empire a chance to make a diplomatic move, considering the kingdom's current pickle. The king suggested they should hear from the students. This idea left the rector totally shocked. But the king wants a chat with Professor Borboleta and Ricky, who face that beast. He also wants to talk to the honor student, our hero. Later that day, Urian's mind is racing. He's clueless why he's been brought to this hall. The king asked everyone to stand, praising their manners. Thanks to their bravery in battle, a bigger mess was avoided. It's our hero's first time meeting the king. Some nobles give the commoner side-eye. The chubby noble's kid flunked the test. Continuing his speech, the king said they'd be rewarded. But there's another reason for the gathering. In a few months, the annual showdown with the empires. It keeps the nations friendly, but also grabs other countries' attention, since it's a flex of each nation's military skills. The winning state gets more trade buddies, and our hero's shocked by the king's honesty. And the king shared he's thinking of skipping this year's games, because a level 4 beast might crash the party again. These words made Ricky super anxious, knowing what he faced, and the king wants their thoughts. But all that's running through the boy's head is fear. Some nobles notice he's getting freaked out, and the king said they could be real with him, wanting honest opinions. The nobles think these guys are too scared to talk, as if the Academy's pride vanished. It'd be better to delay the games. But our hero stepped up, saying he wants to answer the king's question, thanking the honor of being invited there, just to share his thoughts. While he talks, the nobles are all ears. Urian said they faced that beast, which is seriously strong, but that's not all, and his words started to hype Ricky. For our hero said they don't fear these monsters, and they'll find ways to beat them in the future. If something like this pops up during the competition, they're super grateful for the chance to beat them again. The goatee noble is totally impressed by the speech, while the other snobs are just brushing off the commoner. But even the knight commander is hyped after hearing all that. The king's grinning like a kid with candy. He's stoked he called our hero there. Urian says it's an honor, but he didn't expect such a hype reaction. Digging the vibe, the king names Urian as the kingdom's rep for the year. News that totally blindsides our dude. The chubby noble's not thrilled, begging the king to rethink. The kingdom's pride is on the line, can't leave it to a commoner. This ticks off the rector, cause even if he's a commoner, he's an ace student. Even scared stiff, the chubby guy tries to make his point. Ricky jumps in on the convo, saying our hero's got mad magic skills, his healing's instant, could be clutch in the comps. Apparently our dude's super shy with compliments, turning beet red. The odd noble says no way. Healing's like Regan, it doesn't undo stuff, just speeds up the bonus natural process. That's why instant healing's totally nuts. Finally, our hero gets why his power's wild. But the noble keeps yapping, saying the power's just a trick, masking pain. Ricky's not having it. And the rector steps in, saying the noble's magic knowledge is lacking. Things are getting messy, so the rector's down for his student to show them it's doable. This freaks out the nobles. Looking at Urian, the rector asks if he's ready. But our dude's clueless how it got here. All he wanted was to help out a bit. After a deep breath, he says he can heal instantly now. All those nobles are seriously wowed. The goatee noble shows A scar on his arm, it used to be way bigger. He tried tons of treatments, no luck. Now he wants to see if Urian can help. The rector's worried about this, thinking our hero's power can't fix scars. The chubby noble wonders if they need to hurt someone, 'cause that's nuts. And the odd noble says a scar's a wound too. If the kid can heal instantly, it shouldn't be a problem. While the rector's stressing, our hero's pumped to test his skills. He wants to see if he can heal scars. His crew's cheering him on. Finally, Urian starts working on the noble's scar. To everyone's shock, in seconds, the mark's gone. The goatee noble's in disbelief, his skin's back to normal, and even more epic, everyone's floored. Can't say a thing against our hero, even the king's speechless. No one gets why a commoner has this power. And as his arms healed, the goatee noble knows it's not just that his chronic throat issues vanished, it's not a mind trick. He really got hit with instant healing magic. Kaiba tells the king this isn't just magic, it's a game changer. On the battlefield or daily life, its effects would be insane. Even selling it could skyrocket health progress, and our dude's stoked to find this new potential. His talent's off the charts. A bit more respectful now, the chubby noble asks how often he can use this healing trick. Urian's unsure, but thinks he can do it loads. Skeptical of the noble's angle, he says 3 times a day. Super curious, the chubby noble asks if his scars can be healed too. All the other nobles start making requests. Some say it shouldn't be for beauty. Ricky's super relieved, he always knew our dude would nail it. As things get chaotic, the king calls for order again. The honor student's potential is clear. He's capable and worthy of repping the kingdom, even if he's just a kid. After hitting adulthood, he's gonna be a total game changer for the kingdom. Ordering the rector to back him up in every way possible. Now the king's got some words for our main dude. He told him to jump into the competition and bring back some epic honor for the whole kingdom. Our guy was all, "Your wish is my command, your majesty." But wait, there's more. The king had another curveball to throw. He asked our hero to keep it tight with the princess. Kinda confusing. But our guy felt super honored. Next day at the academy, Jade was shook by what went down. Urian and his crew were just as stunned. Obviously, the jealous noble couldn't keep his mouth shut. Claiming his noble pride, he couldn't stay quiet, throwing down a dual challenge to our hero. Jade was all, even the king's seen Urian's potential. But our hero's chill, he took the challenge head on. His friends were like, whoa, bold move. The cocky dude's getting braver by the minute. In front of everyone, he declared if he wins, he's the nation's rep. Totally random. But Rizzo's already got his popcorn ready. Our hero sis is cheering him on, and Jade's right there too. A girl wants to stop it, but she's all about the princess. The princess thinks it'll all be good. Cause the teachers in the room, asking if they're ready to rumble. Our hero thinks Haiwan should stop this. Not cheer it on. The princess is curious about what the king saw in him, and she's hyped to see it for herself. Haiwan asked again if everyone's set. Trying to freak him out, the cocky noble said head get wrecked, but our hero's not even phased. The teacher used her magic to mark the ground, saying this challenge is called, move the coin. Our guy's like, what even is this? The rule's simple, get the coin on the opponent's side for 5 seconds. When that happens, we got a winner. They can only use mana to move the coin. If it goes out of bounds, that student loses. Seems easy, but Rizzo's not buying it. The twin girls figured whoever's got the most mana wins. But gotta be careful, a bluff can make the other use too much force, tossing the coin out. Even the princess knows strategy's key, lots to think about. Hearing all this, Ellis getting nervous. The weird noble's pumped to put our hero in his place, but Urian's totally chill. He's got a plan, time to show this arrogant dude what's up. Since he knows the game, he's got a strategy ready. He's gonna wrap the coin in his mana, leaving our girl spooked. This is his moment to shine. Moving the coin to the other side and holding it down. Just waiting to see the panic on the noble's face. Determined to give him the worst 5 seconds ever. The teacher told them to get ready. Starting the match, the cocky noble's powering up. His friend saw he's going all out. Rizzo said, head, do the same, cause commoners don't have much mana. But things are going differently. The coin's already on the cocky dude's side. Our hero acted fast. The teacher started the countdown. Just 5 seconds left, and the twin girls are shocked. The princess is watching everything closely. The arrogant dude's trying to move the coin, but nada. It's the same feeling he had during the exam. He's even more ticked, facing a mere commoner. Now he's using even more power. A girl noticed the coin starting to move. Ellis worried, but Jade said no need to stress. Laughing, Ricky figured it out. Our heroes moving the coin. The proud noble was shook, seeing a letter carved on the ground. He has no clue what it means. Smirking, our hero said it's no big deal. The countdown started again. 4 seconds left, and the arrogant noble's getting madder. He's using all his strength. Even Rizzo's feeling bad for the guy, surprising everyone. A blast happened in the middle of the place. Its epicenter? The body of that arrogant noble. His crew realized he's lost it. Jade jumped in front of Ella, trying to shield her. The teacher's worried too, 'cause an explosion's about to go down. Our main dude totally saw this coming. He just moved his hands all careful like. And boom, as soon as he closed his fingers, everything flipped. The wild energy just vanished. Poof, everyone was like, whoa, what just happened? Meanwhile, Mr. Arrogant Noble was about to faceplant from exhaustion. A divine figure was watching, and she was super impressed with our guy 'cause he finally got how epic his power really is. Urian made it look like a piece of cake. Rizzo said it all kicked off with the noble's sneaky plan. But our hero used his mana to lock down the noble's mana. One girl was like, no way, that's impossible. But our dude did it, no sweat. During the entrance exam, he couldn't even handle his own mana. Back then, Teacher Z saw it all and his heart didn't explode. Same deal now, but with Teacher Hyowen watching. Maybe the heart thing's a myth, but something's up when he goes full power. Now he's pondering what that lady said. His potential's tied to hero-level potential. Up in the sky, the winged woman saw he finally got it. He's right, his heart's safe unless he goes beyond hero power, 'cause this world is pure chaos. It's got humans, demons, beasts, dragons, you name it. A wild ecosystem in a tiny world. If humans get too much power, the balance is toast. Our hero's power is here to bring peace. His journey's gonna be tough, but she's rooting for him. After the fight, our guy even healed Mr. Arrogant. Now that he's back to normal, he's clueless about what went down. The teacher asked if he accepts the duel's outcome, while Rizzo called him a loser, but the dude remembers zilch. Seeing our hero celebrating ticked him off, but he still admitted defeat. Saying our hero's the winner, the teacher couldn't hide her approval. Telling the student that owning up to mistakes is step 1 to leveling up. She also said he fought like a champ. Our hero can't say it now, but he's thankful for the battle. Finally, the kingdom's reps were picked. It's a big deal event. 10 students from each school face off. Haiwan will announce the 5 first years in the showdown. First up, obviously, is our hero. Even the king's a fan. Second is the princess, top scorer in the entrance exam. Then there's Ricky with super strong mana. Lastly, the twins, who barely got screen time, but now it's their moment. That's the squad the teacher picked. Rizzo wasn't hyped to rep the class, but he wanted to know Haiwan's selection criteria. 'Cause he's sure he's stronger than the rest. And yeah, the teacher figured the extras would have questions. Being real with them, she said there's no real criteria. Except for our hero, all the chosen ones have something in common. They took down a level 3 beast during the exam. Jade was totally shocked hearing this. Ricky and the princess weren't the only ones. Even those twin extras pulled off something epic. The teacher said reps are usually picked by strict rules. But after beating dangerous creatures, that's all that matters. It's a seriously cool achievement. Before, only the current student council Pres Deus could do that. The other extras were blown away, realizing their classmates are awesome. Ella was thinking about it too, after seeing a level 3 beast in the field. She decided to get even stronger 'cause she wants to protect our hero, who wasn't a fan of the uniform. One of the twins rolled up to Urian. All confident, she asked if he wanted to be hers. The offer was so wild, her sister was shocked, and Ella was fuming, but the girl was sure. With our hero, they'd be unstoppable. Promising marriage, making him noble too, but our guy was kinda grossed out. That's just nuts. Plus, marriage is for people who love each other. And she's way too young to be talking about that stuff. This response totally flipped the script. The other girl told our main dude not to diss her sis. But, turns out, his words actually made sense. The gray-haired girl was like, he's right. Marry for love, and totally skipped a key part of marriage. This left the other twin totally shook. OMG, what a fab teacher. She looked awesome in those clothes and said everyone should dress up too. The extras are dying to know how she pulled it off so fast. Haiwan said they're heading to the Empire, leaving the next day, but got a bit delayed cause of that epic match. Our main dude's mind is blown, thinking everything's moving at warp speed. Arriving at this new spot, Ellis buzzing with excitement. Cause it's the Empire, a place they only heard about in stories. In the middle of the square, she caught whiffs of all these yummy smells, but Jade's the one who's over the moon. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. The teacher met them pre-trip, saying Z would be their guide. The reps left first. So Jade's totally alone with his crush. No main dude to mess things up. Overflowing with love, he asked if she ever tried grilled oysters. The Empire's known for its food, and the oysters are top tier. He suggested they try some, and Ellis all in for it. Jade promised they'd be quick, wanting to do his buddy a solid. Then this jerk pops up. It's the snob noble, saying he prefers shrimp. All this is making Ella even more hyped. Finally, Jade realized the sky isn't made of chocolate. There's always a devil's envoy to bug him. Now he needs to grab his friend's attention no matter what, saying they could try a super rare crab. A dish as stunning as she is, but the snobby noble's got no chill. He wants to try the crab too. With fire in his eyes, Jade said the restaurant's for pairs only, telling the jerk to buzz off. Still being a pain, the snobby noble said he'd convinced the owner to make an exception. The other characters are exploring the city. The snobby noble spots his crew, calling them reckless for wandering solo. But Jade just wants this jerk to vanish. But he got cut off. Some folks are saying they're too loud. Some poorly drawn characters just showed up. Not shocked the noises from the neighboring kingdom by their uniforms. Jade knows they're from the Imperial Magic Academy. The new jerks are super smug, noticing those students are from the advanced class. Looking at them, they think no one's got talent because there's a commoner. They're fed up. Jade told this extra to zip it because that girl's way more talented. This only made the extra even more cocky, eager to show off. Because these poorly drawn characters are also from the advanced class of the Imperial Academy. But none of them seem to impress Jade's crew. In fact, the top student seems to be bald, even hiding his eyebrows in this tense vibe. Someone decided to step up. The snob noble called them liars. No way, those guys are the Empire's best. Jade loved that at least the noble's trash talk is on point. His move totally worked. Getting under their skin, now they're ticked off. They decided to throw down. The jerks are gonna flex some Empire power. Seeing this, Ella decided to take charge. Having faced our main dude earlier, the snob noble had to step back. He just watched as Ella knocked out some teeth. No anesthesia needed. The glasses kid didn't even see it coming. Meanwhile, Ellis genuinely shocked by how lame those fools are. This only made the bald guy even angrier, seeing his pals get wrecked so easily. Now he's grabbing his swords, ready to show the Empire's true power. He just didn't expect one thing: Jade's dark energy that instantly made the bald dude start to lose control. Jade said she's cool with friendly matches, but if the dude uses a weapon, he better be ready for the fallout. This freaked the extra out, cause that man is seriously strong. Totally spooked, he asked why those two aren't repping their class, and the two boys started checking each other out, like, who's this dude? They were all, yo, our classmates are total beasts. After that reality check, the poor extra was speechless, like a deer in headlights. In his panic, someone swooped in. A student from the Empire wanted to know why her buddy was so freaked out. She was all, no need to be scared of the competition, said the one-eyed girl. The extras, shaking in their boots, tried to play it cool, saying they weren't scared, but the one-eyed wasn't buying it. Deciding to teach them a lesson, she sent a massive power their way. The poor guys just stood there like, welp, we're toast. Jade jumped in, throwing up her magic shield to save the extras. They were all, WHYD Jade do that. But the boy knew that attack was no joke. Those kids could have been toast. The one-eyed girl didn't care. She was like, that was just a warning shot. Her real attack was coming up next. Jade was like, wow, didn't expect to meet a total fool here. Faced with the attack, Jade had to throw up her shield again. But the girl wasn't stopping anytime soon. Seeing things get messy, the cocky noble decided to chip in too. He beefed up Jade's shield. This just made the one-eyed girl even angrier. She went all out, cracking the magic shield. Jade was starting to sweat. The powerful attack zipped past her face. She didn't even see it coming. Her shield got wrecked in one hit. In the city center, people were all, what's going on? Is there a fight? As soon as they spotted the one-eyed girl, they started cheering her on, and she was ready to rumble. She was all, I'm gonna bring despair to anyone who disses the Empire. This time Jade was totally defenseless, but just as the girl launched her attack, she realized her mana was gone. Ricky swooped in to save the day, landing in the square with his wind sword. He told the one-eyed girl to back off pronto. She had no choice but to listen. Once she backed up, she was all, "Who's messing with my fight?" Because they messed with her mana. Ricky was like, "Yeah, that was me," but the girl knew he didn't get it. The mana that messed with her was way more powerful and dense. Not far off, our protagonist was there, looking anything but happy. Finally, the one-eyed girl figured out who did it. Now she wanted to take him on, full force. Haiwan showed up too, and her presence made the girl's heart skip a beat. Even though the teacher loved watching battles, she said to save it for the competition. The one-eyed girl knew it was the legendary Haiwan, but she didn't see her coming. After that, she decided to bounce from the square, with the extras tagging along, but the one-eyed girl promised those fools would pay in the competition. She wouldn't go easy. Ricky watched them leave, while our protagonist went to help his pals. Jade also figured out what went down. The girl's mana vanished in a flash. Something just like that happened at the academy. This got the boy thinking maybe our protagonist had something to do with it. The wind blade stuck in the ground was cracking. Ricky saw this and was shook. The girl hit her sword, but she didn't use mana, and still, the sword cracked. Knowing this, it was suggested our protagonist be careful in the matches too. Now they're all chilling in the social hall. Inside a palace, our protagonist and his crew were there, but he was just thinking about the grub. The bald boy was freaking out, thinking all those monsters were super strong. Urian couldn't stop eyeing the food. In that spot, someone went straight to chat with the princess, a third-year student named Deus. The princess was vibing with him, saying she's just a student. No need for formalities. Deus noticed she had grown a lot and looked super healthy, being the top student in their kingdom's academy. The gray-haired girl knew he was the only third year in the advanced class. Our protagonist thought his hair was wild. Juan was there too, but sadly, she had already changed outfits. All the students were gathered, the third-year rep, and for second-year students who, like me, were wowed by Juan. Plus, there's our protagonist squad, all 10 academy reps. Deus went up to the teacher, since it had been a minute since they last met and she had high hopes for him. The lights dimmed. Time for the opening ceremony to kick off. The hosts welcomed all the visitors. The person running the show is this professor from the Imperial Academy. For the past 7 years, this competition's been the go-to event, boosting kingdom friendships and giving everyone a chance to level up. But with the kingdom getting smacked by some nasty creatures lately, this year's competition might not be their jam. The professor said the Empire students are super prepped. Their army can take down level sim creatures and they've got everyone's back safety-wise. Then there's this Professor Jerry, who's all about himself. Stepping up to the mic while he's chatting, the Empire's dean is hyping up Jerry's speech. He's convinced he's got the kingdom right where he wants them. Jerry said they're here with 2 solid facts. First, and he's all sneaky about it, the kingdom students took down a level 4 creature. A big deal, showing off their epicness. Second, and again with the sneakiness, the Empire's been losing for the past 3 years. And if they've learned anything, it's that they make awesome sparring buddies. Hoping they get stronger to protect others? You gotta hand it to Jerry, he's a jerk, but he's an equal opportunity jerk. Now that the speeches are done, it's time to party. The competition kicks off in 2 days. Haiwan's all about grabbing some grub and our main character's leading the charge. Everyone's pumped, but one dude's feeling down. He told the teacher he's stressing out because all the second-year advanced class students are in the hospital and now regular students are up for the competition. Because of this, they're feeling like they're not as good as their classmates, worried that if they lose, it's on them. Being nobles, they're sweating the diplomatic fallout, but for our main character, the fix is easy, just win. The extras are shook by this. Ricky and the princess are all about that confidence. Losing's not even on their radar. The twins are super pumped too. Finally, the extras realize they're the only ones with a confidence crisis. The teacher said strength isn't about your social status, it's about who you are. Whether they're regular or advanced students doesn't matter. They're here because they've got skills, they're reps, not backups. And should act like it. After getting this pep talk, the clueless one starts crying, all grateful. 2 days zoom by and it's game time. Finally, the 8th edition of the competition kicks off. First up, a duel between third-year students. The teacher knows Deus is a powerhouse. He struts into the arena, confidence on full blast. Thinking he's got this, no problem. On the other side, there's an extra who can barely open his eyes, banking on effort to win. There's also another third-year rep, a blonde dude with a tan. He's trying to psych out Deus with his intense stare, and the crowd's loving it. Everyone's hyped for the showdown. The presenter said it's 3 rounds. First to 2 wins takes it all. ZS getting more nervous by the second, hoping her students crush it, but the dean knows why they've been winning lately. ZS shocked, thinking it's all about the students' skills, and the dean's even more blunt, saying it's 'cause God was born in their kingdom. Inside the arena, God's facing the same rival again. The blonde dude's claiming he's leveled up big time over the past year. This time, he's set on making God remember his name for good. Before the action kicks off, he's using all these power-boosting techniques, but the human body can only handle 3 of these moves. The blonde dude's gone overboard, and he's feeling it. The dean's counted 8 techniques, seeing the kid's got ambition, and ZS glued to the action. But something's got the dean's full attention. In light of this, God's unfazed. He's itching for a real fight, summoning his weapon. The blonde dude knows that Scythe can slice through mana. If this drags on, he's toast. That's why he's aiming to end it in one epic move. Ricky's watching, can't figure out the fighting style to our main character. The blonde dude's about to bolt now. They're having a goofy chat about how to start a race. Ricky's all about the Naruto stance being the ultimate move. The extra, who can't even open his eyes, is shook. He knows the kingdom's enemies are no joke. While training, he found the blonde dude's stance kinda goofy, but he knows God is a tough cookie. In the past 2 years, he hasn't done squat. The closed eyes guy thinks with 8 power-ups, the blonde dude's got a shot. But the blonde dude knows he needs to level up. Seeing it up close, with all that power, the blonde dude knows God wouldn't stand a chance against this attack. Their biggest issue is the ticking clock. From 5 blessings onward, the human body is way over its limit. Thanks to hardcore training, the blonde dude can handle it for 30 seconds. Even so, his opponent is still God. Whether he can land a hit in this time frame will decide the match. According to the blonde dude, just 5 seconds with the sprint he's working on, he can reach God in just 5 seconds. Showing the guy who can't open his eyes all his skills. It was so epic he had to open his eyes, which is why his buddy's hands are on the ground. The sprint move took a year to nail. They think God won't have a way out. After stacking all those blessings, the blonde dude is set. The stance he made is perfect for boosting his speed, and his power can be stronger than a warrior's. Now that he's moving, he wants to see if God can dodge. Still super chill. God said he read his mind, as he also wants to end it in one hit. The dean caught on to what's happening. The blonde dude used that stance to boost his sprint. Plus he's handling all the strain on his body. But he had the bad luck of facing God. In less than 5 seconds, the blonde dude was shocked. The scythe of doom was still coming at him. A savage slash was aimed at him. A scene so scary that the extra, who can't open his eyes, had to open them again, but God told everyone to chill. He only sliced through the boy's mana, who is now down for the count. Surprising absolutely no one, God was named the winner. He said the fight was super cool, giving props to his opponent. After that, the modesty dude had to explain himself, as they were sure of victory. But all they got was a quick and embarrassing loss. They're totally clueless. One of those guys said losing for 4 years is a no-go. And the bald one among them said they need to use the beast attacks to get more clout, gaining more trade buddies, but all they've got so far are losses. Meanwhile, the extra, who doesn't open his eyes, is thinking some people just can't be beaten. God had truly become the next big warrior. In front of those guys, he said the other students were ready too. The loss stings, but this is just the start. The Empire will crush this challenge. But the bald one is mad, saying another loss would cost that teacher his job. Far from the line, Haiwan is super hyped, as victory is coming fast, and she's trying to pump up some of her students, those extras from the second year, who are full of guts. One of them remembers exactly what went down back in the day, when Laryl decided to smack his classmates. Since that day, the extra vowed he'd never run away again. This is his shot to be reborn. But the opponent he's about to face now is way bigger than him. A jerk with a scar on his face, who called the boy a worm, wants to know where Laryl is, but the extra with a bandana said Laryl won't see this time. He said Laryl is in the hospital keeping the bed warm for the Scarface dude. These words seemed to have fried his brain, as the Scarface dude got ticked off. Now, the boy with the bandana knows he has to fight and is pumped about it. The announcer is hyping up the next battle between the Empire and the Kingdom. The epic showdown between these rivals is coming soon. Right now, the Kingdom is ahead. And the announcer is wondering if a legendary comeback will happen, or if the Kingdom will seal the deal. The second round could flip everything. Tons of students are already cheering like crazy. Looks like if this extra from the kingdom wins now, the crowd will lose it. The poor guy repping the empire is already feeling the heat. He realized his opponent isn't from the advanced class and now feels dissed. More curious still is that he's asking for Laurel to be brought over. Like, what's the deal with that? The energy from him and his crew is wild, totally crushing the second-year students of the kingdom, but the dude with the bandana is hyping up his squad, trying to keep spirits high. Since they're the second-year reps, they gotta show some swagger, right? Meanwhile, the Empire's reps are all about snagging an easy win, no sweat. Their coach's advice? Win big, make it sting, and leave no room for doubt. Weirdly, all the students this year have scars on their faces like a badge of honor or something, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out who's behind those marks. The twisted Laurel had a blast messing with these poor guys. They've been training all year for payback, but now they're bummed. They won't get it. The battle's about to kick off. The kingdom's extras are all set, ready to rumble, but the gray-haired dude on the other side is not having it. He's super ticked. In a flash, he busts through their formation, no sweat. The kingdom students are freaking out, totally blindsided. The gray-haired guy's been prepping all year, needing to reclaim his honor after Laurel's smackdown, facing a swarm of attacks. He's all, I don't have time for extras. And he goes for the whole squad at once. The bandana guy's already down, like, what just happened? But he bounces back quick, flips to defense mode, ready for round two. The gray-haired dude's puzzled, like, are these really second years? They're so weak. The kingdom's team's trying to regroup, not everyone's down for the count. The Mohawk guy's trying to relay this to his leader, like, we're still in this. When the enemy closes in, he dodges instinctively, totally shocked by his own moves. It's wild how an extra's flexing, overdoing the obvious. But he figures the gray-haired guy's skills are all about close combat. The Empire students are itching to jump in, but coach says, nah, let the captain handle it. Their captain's got this. No backup needed. After hearing his buddy out, the bandana guy's pumped for victory. His crew's not quite feeling it yet, though. Facing just one enemy, they should totally seize this chance. He calls for battle formation number 3, all about those long-range attacks. The gray-haired dude hears this and starts roasting them like, you've got 30 seconds. Bring it. This gets in the kingdom's heads. Confidence taking a nosedive, but their mage, the Mohawk guy, shakes it off, rallying the team to attack. They all decide, let's go full send. Before they can close in, the gray-haired guy stops the countdown. He unleashes his skills, going all out on them, all while the Mohawk guy's just watching, feeling totally helpless. In another blink, the gray-haired dude's zipping across the arena. The magic guy's mind is blown. Like, how's he so fast? Still searching for answers, he takes a hit to the gut. Professor Z sees these extras are no match for this powerhouse. Even the dean's not holding out hope, with regular students up against the advanced class worried about their safety. Professor Z's thinking of calling it quits, not wanting them to get wrecked, but the dean's got faith in Hyoen's strategy. The trainer's got a plan. Right now, she's watching the battle super closely. The gray-haired guy's hands are already bloody from pounding on extras. He's not holding back. Not one bit. The bandana dude's offline again. Poor guy. After that beatdown, the gray-haired guy hopes they got the memo. Ordinary students can try all they want, but they'll never beat the advanced class. Now they should just admit defeat and beg for mercy. Even though he's beat up, the bandana guy knows he's not strong enough. No matter how hard he tries, he won't make the advanced class. Oh man, he's pulling out the speech card saying everyone thinks he'll lose. But giving up? Not an option for him. He's decided he won't be a coward who bails on battles. In fact, he's leveling up like a butterfly, and if he bails now, he'll totally miss his shot to stop being a wimp. That's why he's never gonna run away again. Alright dude, nice speech. Now eat this punch and enjoy your free bone remix. Thanks a lot, silver-haired dude, you're the best. After that, the extra's body bounced around the arena like a basketball. Even so, he got back up. Seriously, it's like this guy's never heard of brain damage. Practically offline again. The dude said he's not giving up. And this is starting to tick off the silver-haired dude, who's now charging up his power in one hand, promising to crush his opponent's legs so he won't stand up again. But before the smackdown could happen, his mana fizzled out, and a quirky dude entered the arena. The Empire kid wants to know what the commoner is doing there. Seems he wants his legs broken too. It's our hero swooping in to save the day because the rule is clear. Humiliation and smackdowns are his job, no one else's. Because that would be wrong. The poor extra, already offline, looked at our dude with awe. Outside the arena, the extra who can't open his eyes, who's actually the Empire's team coach, told his student to stop because all his opponents are already caught. That match is done. And that's exactly what the ref does now, calling the end of the battle. Finally, the Empire snagged a win. Turning his back on our hero, the silver-haired dude said he got lucky. The girl from his team is hyping up her captain, admiring his mana control. He held back from wrecking that poor commoner. However, his other teammates noticed the captain shook. Still staring at his hand, the silver-haired dude knows he didn't hold back his mana. He's clueless about what happened. Ella was worried about all this, thinking her bro messed up. Beside her, Jade is super impressed. What he saw that day only confirmed his suspicions. The mana of that dude vanished before showing up, a sign that Urian can zap mana instantly. It's a wild ability. Now the hero approached the extra who got wrecked, admiring that he hung in there till the end, saying that kind of guts is worthy of a brave person. Even so, the extra's bummed because he didn't achieve anything at all, even though he didn't bail for the first time in his life. After those words, he hit the ground unconscious. Time to call the medics. These matches were supposed to be chill. Some folks are complaining to the Empire students. Our hero watches the extra lying on the ground closely. The chubby noble wants to know what young Urian's gonna do now. Our hero said he planned to heal that extra. As soon as he heard this, the chubby noble told him to chill. Thinking that the use of this power is limited, he should save it for the next round. But our hero's really worried about that extra, who got wrecked one-sidedly, showing a bit of sense. The chubby noble said this competition is a stage to show off the dude's talents. A lot of cash was spent on it. It's up to the med team to handle the injured. Our dude needs to chill. Finally, the extras are being taken out of the arena. The students from the kingdom are watching closely what's going down, and one person in particular isn't happy, Professor Hewen. The poor ones who got wrecked are being treated. But one of the docs noticed that the healing isn't working. Those extras are in bad shape. The other doc said they need to be rushed to the hospital ASAP. Realizing also that the hits they took messed with the healing, the Empire had indeed leveled up. But our hero decided to mess with those guys. The doc said the students are being treated, suggesting the dude step back immediately. Now the chubby noble is freaking out. Meanwhile, Urian said he made a vow to use his powers to save people. As soon as he heard this, the chubby noble started yelling, but it was too late. Urian used his healing on the extras. The doc who saw it from the sidelines was speechless. All those wounds were healed instantly. A miracle went down. He was so mad he tried to hit his colleague, thinking he hadn't been trying hard enough. The princess said she'd be bummed if our hero hadn't done that, as she knows he's a good dude. The girl with a twin sister is also impressed and once again brought up marriage. Even Ricky decided to join them, just to see his classmate totally pushing the idea of dating our main dude. The one still super salty about it is the chubby noble, whining that Urian ignored him. While he's complaining, Hewen accidentally bumps into him. She says sorry but jokes that he's so round she thought he was a ball, showing a bit of her fierce side. She tells him to scram. Only team peeps allowed here. The noble poor guy almost freaks out but still manages to say if they lose, it's the teacher's fault, but she just shrugs it off, telling the Empire to get ready because they're going all in. The announcer catches that and tells everyone the kingdom's fired up. The coach is all, "What's that about?" And the one-eyed girl says they're not backing down. She jumps into the arena, with her classmates right behind her. That bald kid from earlier is super nervous. Hoping not to get too embarrassed, a quirky dude is wowed by the instant healing and wants to take our hero's power. An even quirkier dude, basically the first guy but with a sad face, says his bro nailed it. Meanwhile, the red-haired kid says Ricky's just trash. The one-eyed girl warns her crew, saying if they mess up, it's on them and she'll make them pay. The crowd's hyped, ready for some action. The doc's trying to clear out the healed student so the next round can start. Our hero tells this extra dude they'll handle it. He digs that, believing the newbies will win. Professor ZS pumped too. Can't wait for round 3. Same with the dean, since this win decides the champ. Technically they've got it, but ZS still worried. Everyone's tense, but they gotta trust in the power of being the main character. Hewen starts taunting the Empire, saying this isn't their comeback moment. Knowing they'll do anything to win, she tells her students to go all out. Our hero's on board, ready to have a blast. The final showdown's about to kick off, and the announcer's more hyped than the crowd. The Kingdom squad is set, so is the Empire's, and the rivalry's intense. A 5-on-5 face-off is about to go down. The one-eyed girl tries to scare her rivals, saying they can't run this time. Our guy's impressed by her guts. A mustached dude clears his throat. He snatches the mic from the announcer, saying he's the competition director. He admits the matches have been epic, giving props to the students. So, a special rule's being added for this last battle. The Kingdom's teachers are worried. Caught off guard, the dean knows the Empire's already sweating, thinking they're toast. The director says the 5-on-5 is thrilling. And as he talks, a massive tower pops up in the arena. The new rule's simple: whoever reaches the top and grabs the sword wins. The tower's split into 5 rooms. 1 student from each team enters these rooms. The winner moves up a level. That's how it's going down. The more students advance, the better their team's chances. One Kingdom teacher's not happy with these rules. They prepped for a team fight, and this change is totally unfair, but the Empire's teacher says they ought to be surprised too, and a guy from the organization says it's a higher-up decision. Professor Hyoen's not shocked by the Empire's arrogance anymore. She says the battle should start soon, and the Empire's students better bring knives, 'cause they're gonna get wrecked. With all that confidence, the Empire's reps are getting nervous still. They want to see what happens. The final match is about to start. Time for the students to enter the tower. The Empire's reps head in, and so does our hero's team. A glowing door opens up for them in the Empire's dean's office. A chubby guy's pleased, thinking victories in the bag cause the commoners can only heal, and the twin girls are only strong together. Meanwhile, they've prepped the Empire students for solo battles entering the tower. Our boy's eyes are like, whoa, he's got to figure out what this place is, but then, bam, he spots his opponent across the way. It's that same dude who's always hiding his face. The princess is all, wait, where'd everyone go? She came with her squad, now she's solo. But she gets it. She's got to beat the one-eyed girl to keep moving. The one-eyed girl's like, PFT, you think you can beat me? Arrogant much? The princess is all, watch this. Charging up her power in one hand, ready to show who's boss. Meanwhile, the black-haired girl's not thrilled about being split from her sis. Her opponent's this sadistic dude, which is kind of fair. No one deserves to go bald so young. Still, the black-haired girl's like, he'll win fast, gotta get back to my sis on another floor. The bald, sad dude's all, no way I'm losing. His opponent's the girl crushing on our hero. She's like, nothing's changing this outcome. Ricky's in this massive room, and he's like, whoa, this place is sick. His opponent's a cocky redhead who just talks trash. Ricky's already thinking he'll win, so he asks if the dude knows where the stairs are. This question totally ticks the guy off. He's like, Ricky thinks he's all that 'cause he's got a spirit pact. Ricky's patience is thinner than a TikTok trend, so he throws the first punch. He's like, dude, you talk way too much. The guy starts squirming. Then he's grinning, flames everywhere. Ricky's like, oh snap, realizing his win's words toast. The dude's like, you're not the only one with a spirit, genius. The redhead's got firepower, ready to spice things up. Ricky's just annoyed. He wanted this over quick. The Empire's big guys celebrating, thinking they've got this in the bag. His assistants are like, yeah, you're a genius, but chill with the self-love. The bald guy's dreaming of humiliating the kingdom. The Empire's coach thinks he's a top-tier analyst, knowing the first year's battle is key. They sent a spy, so they've got all the deets on the enemies. It's kind of cheating, but he's like, whatever. The announcer drops a bomb, saying someone's already climbing the stairs. The Empire's coach is pumped, thinking one of his students won. He's betting it's one of the baldies. He's glued to the gate, but who pops out? Our hero. Thinking he won too fast, Urian decides to chill. So he heads back in. The Empire's coach is like, what just happened? Totally not what he expected. Flashback time. The Empire's coach knows our boy can heal 3 times a day. It's awesome. But in a solo fight, kinda meh. That's why the bald dude who's always hiding is supposed to beat our hero. He's a commoner, should be easy. Still, before the fight, he's like, I'm not slacking just 'cause he's a commoner and he's ready to his a game. Our hero's like, dude, chill, it's not that deep. But his opponent's all serious, wanting to reach the top of the tower. Urian's kind of forgotten this little detail. Our hero thinks being one of the first 3 up there could be cool, not too flashy, but if he fights now, he'll get there too soon, and the dude in front of him is super hyped. He's gathering all his power. Sure, he'll win. The Empire's got the upper hand in this comp, telling our hero his buddies are probably already down. Badly hurt, their arrogance is their downfall. while the empires learned from past screw-ups. Urian's like, thanks for the tip, but I'm cool with not being first. The narrator's hyped about our hero's move. The empire's coach is stunned. His plan's a bust now. He gets they can't sleep on the kingdom students. He's pinning all his hopes on the twins. The bum twins done with his analysis, looking at his opponent. He's like, heard some wild stories about you, like you offed your own mom to really shine. They gotta stick together compared to her. He and his bald bro are way more epic. And now he's flexing his power. The grinning twin did the same, feeling the power buzz through him. Since they can share their skills even when apart, they're sure they've got this in the bag, and they're all set to wrap up this fight. The gloomy twin said nothing can change the outcome now. Meanwhile, Ricky's trying to slice his opponent. But those flames are like a mega shield. The red-haired dude said these attacks are totally pointless. Ricky keeps brainstorming a plan. 'Cause his sword's a dud. This makes the red-haired dude super cocky, thinking victory's a piece of cake. Throwing flames at Ricky. He said that's the taste of losing, but the kingdom's wise kid knows how to use his wind for defense. However, if life were easy, babies wouldn't cry at birth. His shield's getting wrecked. Ricky realized he's in deep trouble. In seconds, he's engulfed in flames. The red-haired dude knows wind fuels fire. Basic chemistry stuff outside. Professor Zia's super worried, clueless about what's happening in the tower. And the headmaster thinks the rule change might have messed with his students. He really wants to stop it and start a legal battle, 'cause it's nuts. But what really shocks him is Professor Haiwan's confidence, who told her students to go all out. They can get as wild as they want. Ricky's the first to do it, walking through fire like it's no biggie. The red-haired dude still doesn't get the danger coming his way. Ricky's sword started glowing again with his skills zooming fast. He's already behind his opponent. Ready for this, the red-haired dude cranked up his flames, ready to melt even bones in the heat. Ricky called for help from the mighty wind spirit. But his opponent's still cocky, mocking this power that seems useless. In a flash, Ricky zipped past the red-haired dude, making tons of cuts. That totally snuffed out his flames. And the poor dude's clueless about what just happened. 'Cause according to his basic chemistry, wind shouldn't beat fire. Remembering the day he told his dad he was picked as the second-year rep, determined to prove the firehouse is the best of all. The dude's dad said that's not needed. 'Cause no matter how hard they try, they can't beat the wind. Of the four powerful spirits, only fire and wind share their power with humans, and the strongest is the wind. The man thinks the fire spirit's not a fan of them. Poor dude, seeing his dad with zero confidence. Growing up, he trained hard, but 3 years ago gave up, turning to booze. Now that he's lost, the red-haired dude might follow his dad's path. Ricky, brimming with confidence, asked his opponent if he wasn't gonna melt his bones. 'Cause he's waiting on another floor. The gloomy twin tries to attack, but he whiffs, using tons of power for it. But the silver-haired girl dodges like a pro. That's right, if the author can't make unique characters, no way I'm learning an extra's name. Mocking the bald guy, the silver-haired girl said that punch was top-notch. This just made the poor bald guy super mad. The gloomy twins now raging, ready to show the silver-haired girl real despair. This fight's dragging on, but everything's going as the empire planned. The silver-haired girl mocked more, saying the bald guy only follows plans and must be super dull. But she's thinking fighting like this is dull and doesn't want to use her last resort. Full of rage, the gloomy bald guy's ready to end the fight, saying head do it now. Hearing this, the silver-haired girl said it's not just hair this guy's missing, but eyes to see reality. Before they got back to fighting, our hero showed up on that floor, apologizing for getting lost. He wants to get back to his own floor. Realizing it's our hero, the silver-haired girl got super embarrassed. The gloomy bald guy quickly recognized the honor student, which means one thing. One of his buddies got beat. Now he's trying to figure out how someone who can only heal did that. Checking out the floor, our hero thought he took a wrong turn and hopes he didn't break any rules. The one who really dug this was the silver-haired girl. She suddenly remembered a chat from earlier. Her sis was all about the prince's charm. You know, the classic hero saving the damsel thing. At first she was like, huh? But her sis explained, the prince risks it all for love. To the silver-haired girl, that's just bonkers. Makes zero sense. Yet, the more she checks out our hero, the more he seems like her knight. Urian said they gotta bounce from that, but the grumpy bald dude's not having it. He's ready to rumble again. All he needs is to beat those guys. On another floor, the grinning bald dude's got it figured out. He's already schooled his opponent, the dark-haired girl. He wanted more fun, but grumpy bald dudes rushing the plan. Both brainiacs are supercharged, their bald heads are like mega vena, their eyes start syncing up, they're finally sharing max power. Even their faces match. This epic mode lasts just over 2 minutes now. Grumpy bald dudes sure hell crush his foes, being one with his bro. Urian's stoked, realizing helping in the fight won't get him booted. Our hero's clenching his fist, full of rage, watching the bald dude in front of him. With epic mana control, he shuts down the twins' powers, making them harmless again. The one-eyed girl knows her crew's already battling, tells the princess they should join in. Eyes shut, the princess is focusing, almost ready. She knows the one-eyed girl's rep, a Ancient Century prodigy, and she's got a killer skill. Ready to throw down, the one-eyed girl strikes first. The princess knows this move, powerful hits launching explosive mana. Dodging that blast, she sees the boom. All the princess needs is one finger whipping up a huge shield. That attack's no biggie for her now. The one-eyed girl's curious, asks what the princess plans after graduation. This tactic works on rich girls. The princess drops her shield, and the one-eyed girl keeps attacking, asking what royalty does next, suggesting she'll be stuck in a castle or married off. No need for her at this academy, her royal future's chill. The princess agrees, says her older bro's inheriting the kingdom, so she needs to graduate to snag some independence. Now it's the princess' turn to strike back. Launching an attack at the one-eyed girl, hitting her dead on her body, slams into the wall, wrecking everything. Still, she's not hurt, just more ticked off after that hit. The princess' finger stops glowing. Now her middle finger's glowing. She says she'll use her power to save the world. Classic rich girl vibes. Recovering, the one-eyed girl lands back on the ground. She says the princess is too cocky, wanting to save the world, as now she needs to save herself. Since another attack's coming her way, the rich girl's ready to block again. Outside, the whole tower's shaking, the competition director's struggling, hoping the one-eyed girl chills, as he's powering the tower with his own mana, and if she goes all out, the place will crumble fast. One of the bald twins still thinks the plan's on track. His loss was just a tiny hiccup. The silver-haired girl asks where Urian's headed, and he says he's going up another floor, leaving the bald dude's body behind. The two decide to follow, but they're kinda lost. Outside, the Empire's coach is fuming, can't believe the loss, says the kingdom students are cheating. At the tower's top, Ricky and the dark-haired girl are already there. Ricky's sure the Empire's cheating, since they started bending the rules, sending their guys to stop the sword from being moved, making up another rule. They said the sword can only be moved when the captain shows up. If they do it now, they're out, they just gotta wait. But Ricky's seriously ticked about it. The dark-haired girl misses her sis, thinking she must have won too. Ricky, meanwhile, is all about our hero, wondering why he hasn't shown up yet. Now he's stuck dealing with the Empire's nonsense even longer. Bet even his teacher's losing it by now while the crowd's going wild. Hyun senses something, it's like she spotted something dark and spooky. Ricky catches his teacher's freaked out face. Now he's all puzzled, what's got his teacher so spooked? Totally freaked. She's sure of one thing. It's level 4. Seeing his teacher's reaction, Ricky's getting pretty scared too. Something's definitely up. The dark-haired girl hasn't noticed a thing, too busy thinking about her sis. But the silver-haired girl's fight is done, and she's chilling with our dude. Trying to leave that floor? They just keep ending up back where they started. They're totally lost. They've been wandering so long. The silver-haired girl's whining about her legs, worried too. Our guy says they'll find the right way soon. Not a biggie for the silver-haired girl, she's loving the extra time with him. But they gotta help their crew. Our hero's on board with that. They're probably the only ones not on the upper floors yet. The dark-haired girl might be in a jam, but her sis still believes in her since they're lost. The silver-haired girl suggests they split up, at least one of them might make it out. In the princess showdown, the one-eyed girl's going all out. She even said the princess is great at playing tag, but the princess thinks the one-eyed girl's moves are too easy to read. Dodging's a breeze, but in her head she knows this girl's attacks pack a punch. Her shield won't hold forever. With a big sigh, the one-eyed girl says she's bored. She tells the princess to attack. This is dragging on, and they're probably the only ones stuck down here. The princess agrees, deciding to wrap this up, charging power in one finger. The one-eyed girl expects the same old attack. But the princess isn't using energy. It's all mind games with mana chains. She locks her opponent down. Now she can land a hit. No sweat. Seeing that move, The one-eyed girl thinks it's a divine blessing, but there's a tiny hiccup. Powering up, she breaks free from those chains. The princess sees her opponent used leg energy to escape. This makes things tricky. Dodging the next hit might be tough. With her body free, the one-eyed girl jumps back into the fight, and no explosion happens. Once the energy fades, she's all confused, since the princess blocked that hit with her shield. Trying to figure it out, she gets all mixed up, thinking it might be the prince's blessing again. Quick history lesson: back in the day, like the Stone Age, humans were weaklings. But teamwork helped them grow, still weaker than other races. Until one day, a god who really liked humans decided to help, giving power to one human, which stuck around the divine blessing from the middle finger to the weakening. That's when the one-eyed girl noticed her foot felt weaker. Maybe that's the clue she needed. To stop it from happening again, she needs to be faster than the princess, getting close in a flash. The princess realizes she won't have time to use her weakening trick, so she goes for the big toe technique. This is the domination move. She says her enemy will miss after that command. Something clicks in her mind: the attack's super dangerous. But it can't hit the prince's face, who's now using the index finger blessing telekinesis to keep her distance, making the one-eyed girl float in midair. Then she starts getting pushed away. But using all these moves, the princess is wiped out. She remembers her brother saying she didn't need magic school. But she's a rich girl with dreams, and wants to use her skills to help people. After getting slammed into the wall, the one-eyed girl asks if this is the power that fooled the princess. In a way, she gets it. Her own big power led her to this harsh world. That's why she totally hates it. If she was as fragile as a princess, things might have been way different. But this royal girl, she's basically immune to that kind of trash talk, and now she's gonna use her pinky power to wrap this up for good. The one-eyed girl, she's just as fired up. Right in the middle of their epic showdown, a door starts creaking open. This makes the one-eyed girl super mad. Like, who dares to crash this epic battle? But when they both glance at the door, they're totally freaked out. The figure stepping in. Straight up nightmare fuel, definitely not human. A level 4 creature, smart enough to warn the girls to stay still and zip it, or else poof, they're toast. Earlier, Professor Haiwan had sensed something was up, felt the vibe of a level 4 creature, but was stuck like a statue. This caught Ricky's eye in no time. A shadowy monocloud cloaked the whole castle. Plunging it into darkness, everyone caught in it was gripped by a primal fear. The arena had never been this silent. Like, ever. And in that charged atmosphere, level 4 creatures started popping up, ready to bring chaos and fun to everyone. For level 4 creatures are swooping down from the sky. Are heroes pals? Totally losing it. The Empire's folks, equally freaked out. Even the background extras aren't catching a break. 2 minutes after Professor Haiwan sensed those creatures, they landed in the arena, right in front of everyone. Ricky, seeing this, felt his undies get a bit too snug. While everyone was frozen stiff, the creature made the first move. The brunette girl saw it, but she was stuck too. They just watched the creature head for the tower door and slip inside. All this went down without a single word from them. Ricky's still piecing together what just happened. Finally, the professor could move, and she headed over to her students. Opening her eyes, she stared right at God. The third-year genius got what his teacher was saying, and dashed towards the tower. The boy's gonna use the base entrance. Haiwan's counting on his backup inside, cause outside, she's handling the smackdown before the big showdown. A woman appeared next to her. That's Neely. Seems she and the professor go way back to their warrior days. The mysterious woman didn't expect a reunion and said she was stoked about it. Haiwan remembers her well, no way she'd forget. After a small smile, Neely asked why the professor let them all bite the dust cause they were left hanging on the battlefield. The woman's face started melting, saying she trusted the professor. Neither she nor her crew deserved an end like that. It's all Haiwan's fault. They only died cause of her. Now she just carries on, acting like nothing happened. She should meet the same fate. Haiwan was super bummed cause she's seen tricks before. In seconds, that whole dimension started crumbling. The illusion she was trapped in, gone. Grinning, depression was wowed by this ancient warrior's power, who shrugs off mind games like a boss. Even after slicing her arms and legs, seems Haiwan wasn't thrilled to see her old buddy. And that's no lie, cause the teacher's radiating some seriously dark, aggressive vibes. This spooked depression, begging her to chill, They didn't come to throw down, they just need everyone to zip it for 5 minutes. Depression's also trying not to off anyone. After another version of her got wiped out, Haiwan was shocked by this news. High-level creatures are super rare. In total, there are only 8 at level 4 and just 2 of each kind. Now, there's only 1 depression left. Haiwan's wondering if the mighty wind spirit took out the other, but she still wants to know what these freaks are up to. Depression was ticked off by that label, suggesting the teacher not push their buttons. Giving one last warning, just stay quiet for 5 minutes, that's all they need. If the humans don't play nice, things will get wild. Another level 4 creature seems to have caught a tiny virus, and that's what they'll unleash on everyone there. Haiwan wasn't thrilled about being threatened like this. Ricky's getting more and more freaked out, trying to flip the script, begging the powerful wind spirit to bail them out again. Why heard the plea but had to say sorry cause she made a deal with those creatures. That's why she can't step in now. Inside the tower, the creature's trying to figure out which ones the princess caused to him. All these worms look the same. Totally freaked out, the one-eyed girl wants to know what would go down if she were the princess. Now she's waiting for the creature to spill the tea. After a quick pause, the monster says the worms are total fibbers, and there's a chance this girl's fibbing too. The princess gets that her fear is super intense, like level 4 creature intends to make it worse. She seems to be this monster's main target. The only reason they're still breathing is cause they must need her for something. Trying to stall, the girl with few eyes suggests the monster come back later to double-check the deets, promising they'd chill there. All patient-like, but the monster's got a better plan. He's clueless about who the princess is. He decides hell, just slice both in half and take them both. Now the girls are seriously spooked. The one-eyed girls got 2 ideas for the princess. First up, they team up and bolt at the first chance. Second, Shell be the bait and the princess can bounce solo, saying it's more efficient. But the rich girls got a third idea. Shell reveal she's the princess so the other can escape. But the one-eyed girl's not down with that. So the rich girl's not running either, she's sticking around. Now they know exactly what's gotta be done. They call a temporary truce between them. Our main dude's still hunting for the right door, and he's getting more bummed out by the minute. Cause he found this massive hallway. The tower's turned into a giant maze. Like it's trying to stop him from reaching some secret room. This just makes him even more curious. He's gotta know what's up, so he decides that's exactly what he'll do. The hunt is on. Little does our guy know, things outside are a total mess. An Empire rep's got no clue what's happening. Trying to figure out why these creatures are attacking now. After being chill for so long, he knows he's gotta take down the tower and let the knights handle it. But too bad he's not in charge anymore. The beasts are running the show. The monster inside the tower's losing its cool, launching an attack at both girls fast enough to catch them off guard. The princess realizes this is mana at its rawest. No way something like this should be so OP. The girl with modest eyes acts fast, scooping up the princess. Time for them to go on the offensive. The rich girl doesn't hesitate, using the middle finger blessing to weaken the enemy. The monster's not fazed by this move. It's not enough to take him down, but the rich girl's got a little surprise. That's not all her move can weaken. Behind her, the one-eyed girl's ready to unleash a savage attack. She's already locked her eye on the target. A huge explosion rocks the room. But all the monster needs is a flick of its hand. And the one-eyed girl knows something's up. Her hand feels super weird. She can't feel her whole arm. With the monster chilling, the rich girl tries another move. She hurls the creature away, buying time to help her new buddy. But the girl who's already lost an eye knows losing an arm in this fight is no biggie. There's something bigger at stake with their attack power. They've busted a hole in the wall, perfect for a getaway. Before things got hairy, they were chatting about it. Winning's a no-go. They might not even make it out in one piece. That's why the plan's gotta be nailed on the first try. They need to make another exit. The princess must have noticed. But after the monsters showed up, the whole tower's changed. The doors and walls are covered in thick magic. Busting them open won't be a walk in the park. That's why they need to make another door. In the end, it's a bit tricky, but they'll squeeze through the hole and move on to the next part of the plan before the monster's back. But since they wasted time chatting, both their noses are now gushing blood. It's the creature's doing. They popped up to wipe out humanity. It's their lives' mission. That's why surviving's pretty much a long shot. Outside, the whole arena's surrounded. The folks inside are frozen with fear. Even the headmaster's stuck. It's probably a mental block. The dark-haired girl gets that the barriers there to take hostages stopping Professor Hyoin from going full in rage mode. She didn't expect these creatures to be so extra. They must have some big plan. Then she remembered what she saw earlier. One of those beasts slipped into the tower. Its target must be on the lower floors. Ricky figures their target is probably the princess, and he's not thrilled about being a hostage right now. He told his teacher there's gotta be something more important than the sales outside. Time for a tough call. What's more crucial for the kingdom? He's ready to take one for the team. Hyoin cut him off, saying he doesn't know her true power now. He's all kinds of confused because the teacher started channeling energy into her hand. Depression thinks she ditched her crew, making things easier. Hyoin's selfishness is gonna doom everyone, but she's super annoyed and told the creature to zip it. In seconds, the monster lost its head. Hyoin's wielding a massive sword. Time to take on the next beast, the one that's bossing them all around. Even after the chaos, one monster stays put. Depression gives props to the teacher's strength. She was a warrior back in the day, but she's not at her best, and what she did now might cost everyone's lives. The level 4 epidemic is ready to roll. It's all about wiping out humanity. It was made for one thing, to take out as many lives as fast as possible. Hyoin said they should have brought a level 5 creature because on her watch, nobody's dying cuts were made, and the creatures are frozen. The teacher sliced through them, leaving only bits behind. Thanks to this move, something shifted. The students aren't feeling that dread anymore. The dark-haired girl finally got what went down. The teacher's taking out the enemies. Ricky's blown away. She took down 2 level 4 creatures at once, but it came at a cost. The teacher's nose started bleeding. Ricky's super worried about this while the teacher's trying to pull herself together. Depression grinned at that attack. Even though it's strong, it's not true warrior level. With their bodies fully restored, they said she couldn't beat them. This freaked out the dark-haired girl. To heal like that, they must have tons of mana. Hyoin still ticked off, feeling underestimated because the creatures think she can't beat them. The epidemic said she shouldn't push herself too hard. Instead, she should focus on the side effect and save the people. Finally, the virus was launched at everyone. Inside the tower, the princess is still in deep trouble. She can't breathe, and she's clueless about what's causing it. Her whole boat is freezing. Her heart's not working right. The monster in front of her stays still and scary. Totally weakened, the one-eyed girl understood the power of a level 4 creature, especially since the monster hasn't finished them off. They definitely need the princess alive, which is why they're still breathing. Plans need a remix. If no one steps up, the princess won't escape. Fighting this monster is just a dumb move, but this situation made the rich girl mad. She started remembering her childhood days. The kid loved watching her older brother. She wanted to train too, but he thought it was pointless. He just wanted a long vaki, but the princess wanted to learn everything he did, whether it's epic sword moves or powerful spells. She wanted in. Annoyed, her brother said she should forget about it. No need for the princess to learn that stuff. After dropping those harsh words, the prince went for a bath, leaving a bummed-out princess behind. One of the maids saw what happened and said the prince was just tired. The princess asked if she'd be treated differently if she aced her magic academy grades. She's tired of just being a rich girl. She just wanted to feel a bit more empowered, so she could leave this castle and live like a regular rich girl. These honest words got the maid all emotional. Who told that little kid she'll reach her dreams? And one day, she'll be the most empowered in the kingdom, but she can't quit yet. The rich girl's path is tough. After that chat, she got another no, and this time, it came from the king himself. There's no reason for her to hit up the academy. She's off to a regular school to get the 411 on how the world spins, but the girl's all about saving people. She's not down with being just another rich kid. The king said everyone's got their own gig. It's not her job to save the everyday folks. Then, boom, the princess drops her ace, asking if the king's saying that just 'cause she's a girl. He had to take a deep breath. To dodge getting roasted, he switched it up. It's not about gender, it's 'cause the princess is weak. If she hits the battlefield, extras will take the L for her. And that's not about saving people. Strength isn't the only way to do what she wants. A chill government can also keep everyone safe. But the rich girl's not vibing with that life. She wants to save people her way. In her rich girl style, fuming, she said no one's taking the fall for her. Not on her watch. Now she's flexing her divine blessing to the max. It's been 2 years since she got this skill, which is why she busted out of her personal bubble. The monster's just there. Frozen, maybe it's shook by the rich girl's flashback. She says again, she'll protect everyone with her own strength with telekinesis. She smacks the enemy's body again. Her goal is to totally crush that body, but it's a heavy load, so she's got to use the domination move. With 2 fingers, she tells the creature to hit the deck. The request flopped, but the monster had to kneel. With all that girl power, the one-eyed girls shook. This is the secret sauce of a rich girl. The monster's struggling to get back up, but the princess keeps pushing this attack. All she did was make it kneel, and she knows she can't push it further. Finally, the creature gets it. This proud girl, full of internal drama, who's dying to change the world but doesn't get her own reality. She's got to be the princess. These words left the rich girl spooked, thinking something bad's coming. The one-eyed girl tried to shield the princess, but the monster's ready to drop another move. There might not be gunpowder in the eyes, but all 3 eyes in this room went boom. The girls are totally blind. The creature finally got that hand is the divine blessing, and they need it now, clueless about what's happening. The eyeless girls trying to shield the princess. The monster said the worm just got a brain injury, causing a stroke in the girl who's got no eyes. The princess only heard the thud of the body hitting the floor, freaked out. She asked her new buddy what went down, demanding answers. But all that's left in this room is a monster. Now she remembers the king's words, if she ever went to battle, lives would be lost for her. Now the rich girl's feeling guilty. She should have stayed in her bubble. If she ditched her dreams, everything would be different in all this mess. Even the monster tried to cheer her up, saying death's just part of the deal, lost in the dark without her sight. The rich girl cries, but then, surprise, her wounds vanished. A dude's voice full of main character energy asked if she handled all this solo. Because she's seriously amazing, totally princess material. The poor girl's clueless how Urian got in there and wants to know what happened to the monster. Our main guy's gotta play dumb, cause he's got no clue what happened to the creature, even though only its feet are left in the room. While he was in the halls, our boy was stoked. It's his first labyrinth adventure. And this one's kinda tricky. It'll take him a bit to find the way out. But he spotted a ton of mana gathering. Super curious, he's hyped to see what's up. Thinking there's something hidden, he stumbled on that level 4 creature. Our main guy's got no idea what's happening. The monster sensed the worm's presence. But that room was supposed to be locked down tight. So he's baffled how the boy got in there. Urian found the princess and tried to chat with her. Looks like she's out cold, and the monster's already gunning for the boy. While our boy's trying to figure out what happened to the princess, the monster's going for him. Using the move that wrecked the eyes, pretty ticked off, Urian realized the monster made the labyrinth for that reason. This totally killed our boy's vibe, who was hoping for something more epic. While he's all bummed out, the monster's going full beast mode, trying to smack him harder. But our hero's had enough, and he smacks the creature with everything he's got. Boom, instant destruction beam. Now Urian's curious, where did this ugly thing even come from? It looks like those level 4 monsters. All nasty and stuff. With things chill now, our hero's gotta focus on the real deal. First up, he heals the princess. She wakes up all dazed, thinking the monster's still lurking. The one-eyed girl gets healed too, and now we gotta see if the author remembers what he wrote. Cause that noble with a scar got healed too. If she had one eye, now she's got 2. And she's super confused cause her wounds are all gone. This just proves Urian's the GOAT, but he insists he's just a regular dude. The princess, still kinda lost. It's her first time getting healed by our hero. She's seen that move before, but never felt it herself. This could save tons of lives. But the rich girl only cares about that. Now she's recalling the king's words, saying strength isn't everything. That's why her dad recognized this commoner, and now she's feeling kinda useless. Our hero tells her she's awesome for holding her ground against that beast. Words that totally boost the rich girl's ego. After that pep talk, she's blushing like crazy. Urian realizes maybe he shouldn't have hyped her up. He just wanted to shift the convo, so they wouldn't grill him. The one-eyed girl asks if the princess can use the divine blessing. Turns out she can mix her powers. Now things get weird. That move was within the monster's reach. WHYD it bail. Maybe something more urgent popped up, and our hero's on board with that idea. Still, they got super lucky. The creature must have thought they were toast. Now they gotta bounce. The one-eyed girl says they can use the exit. She made it still wide open in the wall, but now there's an even bigger hole, and she's baffled by what could have done that, cause she had to hit the wall a bunch. Definitely the level 4 creatures doing that's when our hero realizes he busted through a mega strong wall. All this leaves the one-eyed girl puzzled, and her head spinning if it weren't for that epic healing. She'd be toast and it's not over yet. The monster's probably lurking. What she can't wrap her head around is why she's so chill. The creature that made that massive hole is still kicking. This makes the princess ask how Urian got there. He says he was just strolling through the halls and found the chaos. All while the one-eyed girl's still deep in thought. To the princess, the monster must have split before he showed up. Our super lucky dude, after some serious thinking, the one-eyed girl grabs our hero's shoulder. He starts to worry, thinking she might have figured something out. To her, it all clicks. It's the boys healing. They should be freaking out. It makes no sense to be so calm. Like everything's peachy. Seems like even Urian doesn't get how epic his powers are. Says the one-eyed girl. The princess is confused. She doesn't know if she should be panicking, but she realizes the fear she felt is gone too. Our hero's healing is next level. Even the mind's fixed. While they're distracted, the one-eyed girl spots something behind the princess. It's that creature that should have vanished. A wave of fear hits them all. The monster tells them to freeze, saying its plan's gonna happen. And everything they've done just ticked it off more. The one-eyed girl jumps back into the fight. But she knows she won't reach the princess in time, who's about to get snatched by the creature. But then, something wild happens. The monster's magic just fizzles out. This makes it super mad, 'cause the worm messed up its plans again. It's our hero who's behind this. When he hit the creature last time, he held back, not wanting to wreck the place, but he was too careful. Now the one-eyed girl's ready to take down the enemy. The monster says their attacks are pointless. Oh man, the one-eyed girl just showed her other eye, and it's red, like super intense, total demon vibes. But then, bam, she starts throwing punches like a human tornado. And suddenly there's this massive energy ball. Our hero's just standing there, totally blown away by her epic skills. The one-eyed girl is wiped out, had to shut her other eye again. Now that the dust settled, they see the monster's still kicking. She went all out, but it didn't even scratch the beast. The princess gets it. No matter how hard they try, this monster's not going down easy. Its mana's off the charts. They need something equally wild to beat it. Maybe a healing power that can cancel its attacks. Or something that can totally freeze this beast in its tracks. Time for our hero to step up, but he's not feeling the whole spotlight thing. The monster can dish out serious damage with just a finger. This makes everything super tricky and dangerous. But even in chaos, humans find a way to hope. The monster goes for the princess, but our hero's healing got her back. The one-eyed girl, Academy's top student, sees this and knows he's their ace. Even the princess is sure our hero's got this. The Empire girl asks him to whip up a magic attack. He says he's got nada. So the princess hands over her wand, hoping it can handle his mana. This just ticks the monster off more. It's not loving this situation. The Empire girl tries to teach him to attack, prepping another move, while the princess gears up with courage to join in. They're all about ending this before the monster gets any sneakier. Urian's not into being the center of attention. He wants to play it cool, but maybe there's no other way. Time to unleash his power. Feeling that energy, the girls are now pumped with confidence. The monster's all, "You're nothing," saying human effort won't change a thing. But slowly it's realizing it might be wrong. The princess tells him to drop his hands and bam, he chains her up, immobilizing her. The monster's in disbelief that these worms pulled this off. This divine power's wasted on these inferior beings. But the princess says this power's a gift from God to humans. The monster's like, "God's cool with humans, but for us, he's the worst." The rich girl rolls her eyes at this, knowing her moves are maxed out. But the Empire girl's ready to strike, just needs a sec. With both eyes open, she's set to unleash something epic. But the honor student needs to jump in time for a team attack. Our hero's gotta show his skills, but he's stuck in a big decision. In this new life, he wanted to be low-key, but now he needs to go all magic. If he's not careful, his plan to stay under the radar is toast. Even with the danger, he's made up his mind and the girls are on edge. He decides to let them down by doing something totally basic. Tossing an energy ball to keep up his average guy act. Back in dodgeball days, he was always out first. But now he wants to change that. The energy ball zooms, smacking the monster's face a perfect hit. At least he's having a blast. He even managed to his energy, making it all the more epic. Now he's ready for the next level, playing it cool. He apologizes for his weak attack, thinking this'll keep his secret safe. He just needs the girls to keep believing in him. But the princess is totally shocked. That energy ball was perfectly round. Not even the kingdom's best craftsman can make something that perfect. Nothing's that round with today's tech, it's just not possible. Yet Urian did it with his mana, which is super fluid, always moving. Unpredictable, no way he made it that perfect. And to top it off, he threw it too. The Empire girls impressed, thinking his attack's silly. But the energy ball's still smashing the monster's face, completely wrecking it. The mana ball hit the ground, just chillin' like a regular ball. His power? Enough to pop a level 4 monster's head like a balloon. The kingdom's been hiding a prodigy, and now his squad's totally mind blown. Urian told the curly-haired girl to bounce with the princess ASAP. Right after, the monster snatched him by the noggin, slammed him into the floor, turning it into a disaster zone. The shockwave was massive, like a giant sneeze. The girls watching were totally freaked out. He got tossed into the wall, leaving a hole big enough for a new door. Urian's attack nearly wrecked the creature, but the princess, seeing that, was shook. She spotted his legs in the rubble, thinking the worst. No time to chill. The Empire girl grabbed the princess and bolted. She knows this is her one shot to escape. The monster's not having it. He raised a finger, ready to end them, but then thought, nah, let's toy with them a bit. Hell, let them think they can escape just to crush their hopes, like he did with the worm now lying on the floor. Hell, let them see hope, only to make them beg for the end. But our hero told the creature to chill. They were just having fun. A huge magical energy lit up the room, and now he's rocking his alter ego's armor. He hasn't thrown a real punch yet. Curious if the monster can take it before anyone knew it. The creature was diced up, turned into a jigsaw puzzle of monster bits. The cuts were so wild. The room got sliced too. The energy was visible from outside. It shattered the creature's barrier. Our hero realized he might have gone a bit overboard. Again, all that was left of the monster were its feet. Probably can't grow back. The crew outside felt something went down. She told the depression the monster's toast, gone with the blast. The hit was so intense, even the barrier might have cracked. He held it, but got hurt inside. Totally confused, the depression thought it was a miracle, but his monster buddy said, nah, that power was super weird. And now he's losing his cool with these humans. The hostages they grabbed are useless now. Juan's got her sword, ready to throw down inside the tower. Everything started shaking. God, hunting for classmates, is now spooked, but he noticed the shake was quick. Definitely caused by the level 4 beasts. The whole place turned into a maze, but thanks to the blast, he knows where to head. Seeing the green glow of our hero's energy, he dashed, using his mysterious powers to do it. The Scythe of Doom is ready to slice his foes. God's sure nothing can stop him now, but what he saw was truly terrifying. Facing a mysterious knight, with energy off the charts, scarier than anything. The air's so thick he can barely breathe. Everything's heavy. Our hero recognized the student with the funky hair, but no clue why he's here. To make it worse, God decided to attack him, thinking our hero's just another baddie. Dodging all those swings, our boy asked God to chill out. But the boy's totally lost it. His stress is so high he can't hear a thing. Maybe it's fear, yet our hero's clueless about what scared him so bad. At least he gets to see how these mana-cutting attacks work. Now our hero wants to feel the attack himself, letting the scythe hit him. God's super determined to take him down. And since our hero's been hit once, he doesn't want to repeat. Time to stop this kid. With one swing, our hero sliced through everything. God's probably out of the fight. To make it worse, our hero tried to copy that move, thinking this is how it's done. At least he hopes he sliced through the mana and nothing else without his powers. God's all, what's this monster planning with the princess? Promising to beat him no matter what. Hearing the boy's voice, our hero's like, phew, and admits he's clueless about the beast's plans. Realizing he's not the enemy, God's all, who's this dude? No first-year students got power like that. Our hero dodges the question, just saying he's not the enemy. God's frozen, trying to wrap his head around it. Plus, a first-year stopping his attack? No way. Our hero's like, wanna find the princess? Follow the corridor, but God's like, wait, this kid's younger than me? His ego's taking a hit. Then he's like, oh snap, it's a beast, the enemy's trying to trick him with a disguise. Our hero's like, do these flashy clothes scream costume? But God's like, take off the helmet, prove it. And our hero's wondering why he's so mad. Without answers, God's ready to swing his scythe again. Thinking he's facing the enemy, God's set on ending it this time. He's going all out with the dance of death, the deadly cuts flying through the air, our hero's just sighing. Watching the move, he's not feeling that cut again. Everything's a blur, God's on the ground. His eyes slowly open, clueless about what just went down. Our hero's still there, asking if the boys calm down, making it clear if he was a monster, God be toast, and yeah, that clicks. The boys all, my bad. Realizing he messed up. Our hero's like, no worries, mistakes happen, and tells him to keep going, the princess is close. Now God's worried about this mystery kid. Warning about a level 4 creature. But our hero's like, already took care of it. God's jaw drops, this has to be a joke, no matter how strong this masked dude is. Level 4 creatures are beasts. Totally baffled, he asks if there's a sword mark on his back or anywhere, our hero's like, nope. God's like, think again, that mark's rare, but our boy's sticking to his answer. God's mind's blown. Can't believe this masked guy's not a warrior now, our hero's getting confused too. The sword marks for knight heroes, turning them into warriors, passing down power. When a warrior loses their powers, they pass to the next, who gets the mark. It's been 2 years since Hyawan lost hers, and no one's claimed it. Usually it's quick, and humanity's still fighting beasts without a warrior. That's why God thinks he's found him, explaining the boy's strength, the mark's gotta be somewhere. He's like, take off your clothes, let me check. But our hero's not having it, he's like, I'm no warrior. But this story almost got him. God's like, okay, but what's your name? And he's shocked to find out it's Yuri and blah blah. Yep, our hero's alter ego's got a rep. With nothing left to say, he's out, and God's like, where you headed? Our boy's like, chasing dreams, duh. Outside, the teacher's ready for battle. Depression's trying to bring her down, throwing all sorts of dangerous moves, but nothing's breaking through that sword defense. Depression's taking hits while the teacher's getting more aggressive. She expected more from this fight. It's like the beasts are thinking of bailing. The dark-haired girl's amazed teacher Hywin's really owning the enemies she wants to help, but knows shed just messed things up. Better off with her sis. Depression's all, you're too cocky. Haven't done squat yet, but in a blink, everything flips. Hywin lands a brutal cut on the enemy. The creature's in disbelief, fighting her's a lost cause. She's got the best skills ever, bending space like a boss. If an apple hits the ground and starts rolling, it's gonna end up somewhere, right? To most folks, it's just an apple doing its thing, but the teacher, she's got space-bending skills to her. That apple's moving like it's stretching through space. Say Hywin wants to stab the apple with her sword. Standing by the tree it fell from, she could totally nail it. Hywin's the only one who can take on a level 5 beast. She's a real monster slayer, that's why Depression's pulling out all the stops to take her down. It's trying to mess with her mind again, looking for a weak spot by dragging her through painful memories. The monster's taken some hostages. If she makes a move, they're toast. And Depression's not bluffing. There's a young guy who's done bad stuff but turned his life around. Now he's a family man, an old dude who served the country for ages, but he's on his last legs. Depression's making the teacher choose who to save. This offer makes her eyes blaze with anger. And things got real when Depression wiped them out on the spot, saying that's the fate of all the hostages here. No matter how tough you are, your mind's always a bit fragile. Depression's banking on Hywin blaming herself. So she edges closer to defeat. Slowly, people start getting sick. They're coughing up what looks like tomato juice, dropping like flies from the illness. The students watching are freaking out too. They've got no clue what's happening to these folks. But it's the work of another level 4 creature. Hywin's watching, getting more and more ticked off. She used to be the kingdom's top warrior. Now she's feeling totally useless in this fight. Depression's promised to end her soon, showing how easy it is to snuff out human lives. And they won't be beaten by her power. She's not a warrior anymore. All the lives here are on borrowed time now, but Depression hints there might be a way to save them. Hywin just needs to chop off one of her arms with her sword. This'll show respect to the monsters. And Depression's hoping she'll go for it, promising not to trick her. It's up to the teacher to think it over, since she can't beat them. No heroes coming to the rescue, accepting the deals. The only way to save everyone, all she has to do is lose an arm. Having been a legendary warrior, Depression's betting shall choose wisely. Ricky's worried he doesn't trust the creature. And the teachers had enough of this nonsense. The government pushed for this competition. Knowing the risks now, the beasts are using hostages to mess with her. Hiwen grips her sword even tighter. What really bugs her is she hasn't unleashed her full power yet because of these threats. Depression's getting mad and gets hit again by the teacher, but this time the monster manages to dodge some damage. Realizing Hiwen's are a real headache, the monster senses this attack was fueled by emotions, with its body taking a hit. Depression tells the disease the teacher's vulnerable, time to unleash suffering on humans, so the teacher suffers more. Among level 4 creatures, disease is the worst. But something drops next to Depression. It's its buddy's head. Now the monster's totally confused. Our hero shows up, hidden by his alter ego, and he's stoked he made it just in time. Hiwen's shocked to see this masked kid when it was the epidemic's turn to strike. She didn't notice someone sneaking up behind her. It was when she heard our hero's voice that she turned around. Our hero thinks he's seen that creature before, and she starts to introduce herself, claiming she's despair's personification. But our hero cuts her off, calling her the mosquito beast. And that really ticks off the creature. But before it can react, our hero grabs its mask, thinking it's the weak spot. Now that it's crushed, the boy's grinning, which makes the pandemic even angrier, saying humans lose it when faced with despair. Still throwing threats, our hero decides to strategically remove its head. That's when the package lands next to Depression. Hiwen's still trying to figure out what just went down, and the masked one introduces himself to everyone. Our protagonist's crew is totally shook. Ricky instantly spots his masked rival. First time Hiwen sees Urian blah blah in the flesh. Still pondering, she's cut off by God's grand entrance. The dude says the tower drama's sorted, the level 4 beast is toast. Our boy knows he showed up just in time, but danger's lurking. Loads of extras are feeling rough. Weak and wobbly, they start dropping like flies. Jade throws up a magical shield to keep the protagonist safe. Eyeing the ex-warrior, our boy asks why everyone's so banged up, but she stays zipped. God's about to spill the tower tea, but his teacher cuts him off. Shockingly, she sides with the masked dude. Our boy says they'll chat later. He's got a mission for God now. He needs to zap the mana of all the coffers. The boy's puzzled, using his skills on the crowd. But the masked dude gets the enemy's game, and how this bug's spreading. Normally they'd quarantine, but they're stuck in a barrier. Gotta use magic to nuke the evil source. Hiwen's shook, asking how the masked dude knows so much. He's way too familiar with these plague vibes. Our boy says he's been through this rodeo before, but no time for stories. They're on the clock. Gotta move fast, plus the plague's still kicking. Our boy's gotta take it down right. Ricky's freaked. It's like the creature's untouched. Depression, though super beat, is still kicking, tells his buddy to be careful. And once again, poor thing gets cut off. Hiwen won't let this beast stick around. The pandemic's hands are loaded with more virus. Launching them at the crowd. Before they hit, the viruses get sliced, stopping the pandemic's attack, which is now super ticked off. Our boy tells the mosquito to quit the nonsense. Time for a real showdown, unless of course the mosquito's a total chicken. The students hear that and think this masked dude's nuts. He's gonna get wrecked. Even God thinks it's risky, cause the masked dude's no real hero, ready to jump in if needed. Though he wants to see this guy's true power. Same goes for the teacher. Our protagonist's taunt worked. The pandemic's all eyes on him, and decides to flex a bit. First showed up 95 years ago, in a massive city with 6 million peeps. The pandemic loomed over them. All the ruler's call was to torch everything left of it. That plan saved the city, but the price was steep. Only 100,000 survived, highest death toll ever. Feeling that power, the students feel the pressure, cause that energy could wipe them out in a snap. God sees the pandemic's hands merging. Hiwen, once a warrior, knows this is bad news, but she needs to focus on Depression. Still alive in the chaos, the power to end everyone is now aimed at just one. The pandemic's proud, it could take billions. Our protagonist says the enemy's too loud, like an annoying mosquito getting more ticked. The pandemic gives a final warning. The boy's just a bug and sends its giant hand at him. The masked dude doubts the hand's power, so he decides to play rock paper scissors with it. The pandemic's slow to catch on, but its giant hand gets split in two by our protagonist's power, who keeps blasting energy at the enemy. slicing its main body too. As scissors beat paper, our boy thinks he's won. His energy cut shatters the barrier again, leaving the pandemic's body in two. Everyone's stunned. One hit took down a level 4 beast. Our boy's hyped about his win. Haiwan knows it's epic. The pandemic caused the worst disaster ever, yet it got wiped out fast. Military forces outside the barrier see a breach. Time to roll in the depression, all shattered. Can't even believe what's happening, and oh boy, it's about to get a whole lot worse. Haiwan totally shrugged off the monster's mind games. But the creature's still yapping, saying the teacher missed a chance to reunite with her fallen squad. And yeah, she kinda agrees with that. Things are way worse than anyone thought. They gotta tackle this disease head on. Loads of folks couldn't handle that nasty virus god swinging his scythe, trying to snip people's mana. But some are totally freaking out with this win. The depression got nabbed by the Empire's mages, stopping it from bouncing back. The teacher walked up to the masked dude, and honestly, gave him props for the assist. He was key to the day's outcome, but she won't forgive him for putting her students at risk. But that day played out differently. Our guy knows his timing was spot on. He also said the teacher's being dramatic. Haiwan could have handled those baddies solo. She's keeping her real power under wraps. Those words left Haiwan feeling pretty chuffed, but she's sure with her current power, she couldn't win and save everyone. Our hero won't ask why she's hiding her skills. He's in the same boat. Before bouncing, the teacher said she's got one more question and could help him out if he's honest. Our guy said no one's judging him cause he's gonna vanish again. Then, Haiwan unleashed her epic power, thanking him but not letting the masked dude leave. Our hero, staring at her, told her to remember something important. He's the new hero in town, and he's all in on this gig cause he's all about justice. Poof, he disappears right in front of everyone, while the Empire's soldiers are shook. Haiwan. But she had to keep her cool, letting a few slip away this time. Yet she's super curious about who this masked hero really is. Back in his gear, our hero returned to the wreckage. Everything went just as he planned. He's sure everyone still thinks he's a weakling, since he couldn't even pull off a basic spell. Plus, he showed up as his alter ego, saving the day from a huge mess. He'll definitely be overshadowed by these moves. All he needs to do is chill in the rubble until the rescue squad shows up. Our guy placed a big rock over himself, leaving just his legs sticking out. Finally, things settled down after 2 weeks. The competition hit pause. Still, everyone's partying over what went down, especially the Empire folks, who are hyped about beating the level 4 beast. The red-haired dude's munching on some grub. With him is that extra who hides his baldness. They're amazed by the people's joy. Even after the chaos, the bald dude said it's fair. A level 4 beast got wrecked. And yeah, the red-haired dude's on board with that too. But those who were in the thick of it seem pretty shaken. Another thing the red-haired dude can't wrap his head around is why the kingdom students are still hanging around. Among them, one caught his eye. That foodie also faced the beasts, and he's talking about our hero. She's with her bro, bringing more meat for him to chow down. She heard the dude was stuck in the rubble during the attack and is glad he's okay. Our guy said the feeling's mutual, but he's too busy with the food trying to keep his cover. He started whining about being useless. He tried to cast a spell, but it flopped big time. His sis said he should chill out, suggesting he get back to munching since they used to be broke. They grab every chance to scarf down free food. The red-haired dude noticed they have zero manners. That's why they're commoners. Only then did he realize the bald dude had faced our hero, wishing he had that chance, thinking it must have been a breeze. Totally shocked, the bald dude said it was smooth, but honestly, he can't even remember how he lost. Spreading word he got beat by a commoner could be tricky, so he's keeping it hush-hush. The one-eyed girl found her crew. She knows the honor student reached the tower's top and thought the bald dude was seriously hurt. As soon as he heard this, the red-haired dude totally freaked out, realizing his buddy got owned by a regular guy. But the one-eyed girl was like, wait, what? She was sure the honor student was the kingdom's top dog. He smashed a 4-star creature's face with his skills, so it's wild the bald dude's still kicking. Now he switched it up, from losing to a regular guy to getting beat by the kingdom's gem. Smart move, dude, but the red-haired guy is still struggling to wrap his head around it, cause he's stuck on our hero being just a regular dude. He started finding it all kinda funny, saying his friends are cracking epic jokes. He said they all saw the spy's report, and that guy's just a regular dude, nothing more. Calling him the kingdom's strongest is just comedy gold. But the one-eyed girl isn't sure if our hero's hiding his true power. But she's got one thing down, he's got magic skills way beyond just healing, and she's saying this cause she saw with her own eye when our guy used some crazy magic to smash that level 4 creature's head. This info's got the red-haired dude sweating a bit. The girl started mimicking our hero's reaction super over the top, making it seem like his attack was weak. Even the red-haired dude was like, that's just silly talk. But for that girl, it was clear he wanted to keep it all hush-hush. After hearing all this, the bald dude thought the kingdom might be cooking up some secret war tech. That's why the one-eyed girl was worried about the bald dude. But she's glad he's still around now. Knowing the truth, the bald dude's seriously impressed, relying on his own skills. He's sure he gave it his all. But truth is, he's just winging it. He can't remember squat about the fight. The red-haired dude started roasting the bald guy for getting beat. But he's curious who'd win in a showdown, the kingdom's prodigy or the one-eyed girl, cause he thinks without the eye patch, the one-eyed girl levels up, being a once-in-a-century genius. Even after all the hype, the girl kept it real. She thinks she'd last maybe 10 minutes tops before getting wrecked. Now the red-haired dude's all hyped. He can't believe our hero's that strong. His reaction was so extra, it freaked out some ladies walking by, and the girl went further in a Norrell's duel. She'd be toast in under 3 minutes. The scene's so intense, the bald dude said they should thank the beast for dodging a total wipeout. Wrapping it up, the girl told them to keep it on the down low. There's gotta be a reason for the secret, and she wants it that way. That's when she heard our hero's voice, calling for the eye patch girl, who instantly freaked out. Our hero's stoked everyone's okay. Little does he know they're all spooked. The girl said she'd show her thanks properly when she could cause she knows our guy helped save the princess, but he said it's cool, he's just glad everyone's safe. Trying to chat, he asked what they were talking about. Panicked, the dude said they were just munching on food. Nothing else. Urian was super surprised by that answer. But then, someone started yelling. Person hit the ground, looking real sick. She's coughing up blood. That dude's allergic to booze, but he keeps chugging it anyway. Freaked out, his buddy called for a doc. Clueless on what to do. All this while the extra situation got worse. Our guy watched closely while munching on strawberries. Getting closer to the sick dude. He used his healing, but the guy tried to shove him away, thinking he'd mess things up. In seconds, the dude who was almost a goner was back to normal. Feeling great and refreshed, he asked for more drinks to keep the Empire's victory party going. Seeing that instant healing, the Empire students were even more spooked by our hero's power. For the one-eyed girl, it's seriously mind-blowing. She watched closely as our hero acted all chill. Urian said a real mage needs to learn attack spells, saying he's kinda lame. The one-eyed girl felt tested and said if our hero keeps practicing, he'll get way better. Urian really dug those words and thanked her for the advice, thinking his plan's totally foolproof. In the streets of the Empire, everyone's partying like it's the best day ever. A girl with long blonde hair is just chilling at the window, watching it all. She's with the Knight Commander, saying it's kinda funny they got attacked by beasts, but everyone's throwing a party. Kybasal, well duh, we won, celebrating's good for the vibes. But the blonde girl still thinks it's a total laugh. Cause the Emperor's a total goof. If she'd been in the fight, no one would have gotten hurt and people wouldn't need to be fooled like this. The Emperor gave the immortal title to 4 people. One of these immortals is Sekra of the Spring, the blonde girl who's complaining. Kybas saying the whole thing's a big mess. No one saw 3 level 4 creatures coming. Maybe Juan's presence made them too cocky. Sekra's not a fan of our teacher. And since she heard the rumors, she's super curious about Urian Blabla, the mysterious masked dude. She wants to know if he's the next hero. But nobody's got the deets yet. Kybas worried, cause they don't know if he's a buddy or a baddie behind those doors. They're definitely chatting about this. The attack that day is one of the wildest in history. Right in the Empire's capital, a topic like this can't be ignored. It's bigger than the creature threat. Cause it showed they can pop up anywhere, anytime. That's a major freakout for everyone. An emergency defense council meeting's going down to chat about this. The Emperor of Bahan's hosting it. His name's Zeni. The king's there too, saying humanity's gotta team up to beat this danger. The Pope of the Sacred Nation got the invite too. A military bigwig there said it's a big deal. He's the president of a republic. Kicking off the meeting, the Emperor said they're there for all of humanity. Their choices and actions could shape everyone's future. So the main goal's gotta be keeping peace and good vibes. With that, the military president wants to speak first, saying his nation is declaring war. The beasts hit the Empire and the kingdom, 2 big shots. Basically, humanity can't stop these creature invasions anymore. Even though the Empire snagged one of these beasts, they're definitely coming back, so his nation's going all in on war against the beasts, putting all their military muscle into the fight. He thinks that's how they'll keep people safe. The king figured the attack plan might be a solid defense. And the emperor's on board too. If safety's a go with these moves, he's down to send his troops. The biggest snag is humanity's still heroless. Fighting these creatures without him is like asking for a loss, wasting soldiers' lives. The war's wear and tear could be a killer later. And even Hyoin, the top warrior ever, couldn't beat a level 5 creature. It's tough to think regular soldiers could do much, said the king. Then the Pope decided to clasp his hands. Grabbing everyone's attention, he said, in times like these, prayers are super important because he thinks the only way to save humanity is waiting for God's help. Looking back at history, early humans were weak and always threatened by other races. But in tough times, God hooked people up with magic. Their only shot is getting the hero's power again, so they gotta pray and chill. That sounds super silly to the president. As the Pope hinted the hero's Mia, cause of no prayers, it's like God got salty, taking back his blessings like a kid. This comment got the Pope all riled up. And to get everyone focused, the emperor slammed his chair, making it clear personal beef can't mess up this meeting. They need to keep it cool and friendly. This made the president say sorry. He didn't mean to diss the religious leader. Cause his nation ditched commoner discrimination and focused on science, the king saw the ideological clash between these nations as causing major drama. Finally, it was time to hit the main point, said the emperor. Humanity's in a trap. Those beasts didn't attack just cause. Super curious, the king asked the emperor to spill more on this. The authority said they learned something from this latest attack. The beasts have a mission. They want the divine blessing of the princess. When a level 4 creature popped up in the kingdom, it was right during the new academy students' admission test. And then, boom, it showed up again during friendly battles. The emperor said these creatures knew where the princess was and they attacked right on point. Everyone's freaking out, thinking someone might be spilling the beans to the bad guys. Even the Pope's nodding, saying it makes sense, but the president's scratching his head, wondering why anyone would do that. And the Pope's all, maybe it's a monster in disguise. The empire's pointing fingers now. The emperor's all fired up, saying Urian blah blah's the traitor who sold out humanity. Everyone's jaws hit the floor. But the emperor's like, remember when the princess was in danger? That was during the admission test. The emperor's saying Urian blah blah put her in danger. And every time he shows up, trouble follows. But the president's confused cause he heard Urian blah blah was key in the last win. The emperor's like, think harder. The princess got saved by the one-eyed girl, while the empire's troops were about to smash the magic barrier. If Urian blah blah's a real hero, why's he hiding? The Pope's heard from other religious folks that Urian blah blah's power is kinda sus. No way, he's human and it's a joke. He calls himself Justice cause only God gets that title. The king's sure the Pope's a total weirdo, a religious dude with a twisted mind full of biases. Wrapping up, the Pope's saying Urian blah blah's a threat to humanity and wants him gone. Plus, there's another thing he wants to chat about. The creatures want the princess' blessing, and she was sent by God, so the holy nation wants to protect her personally, promising top-notch hospitality for the royalty. The king's eyeing this nutjob closely. He thanks him but says, nope, the princess stays in the castle with Huan. Trying to score something, the Pope asks for our main guy to be an exchange student in his nation, cause his healing skills are lit, and the religious folks think it's another God-given gift. They're keen to study it, but the king's like, gotta talk to the council first. The meeting dragged on for days. War got declared, and the army's recruiting folks. Now some soldiers roll up to our main dude, telling him he needs to do a 2-week training to be an army reservist. Our guy's like, is it so bad you need kids? The soldier says he'd be a junior candidate. They're just scouting for talent, no kids in battle. And, ripping the paper in front of him, the soldier says our guy won't be joining cause that squad's only for the best. And the dude noticed something. He says our guy doesn't meet the basic criteria cause he's a commoner. This info's going to his bosses, which makes our guys super happy. Even a soldier thought his chill vibe was odd, but Urian never wanted, and now that they're thinking less of him, things are looking up. Our video ends here. If you liked it, leave your like. See you next time. Bye bye.